Ralphie's ready to go, and so are we, as the Colorado Buffaloes on the field, ready to take on the Rams of Colorado State. And I talked about good conditions. Well, it's a little gray, which helps because it's warm, so it's kept the temperature down still in the 70s. Early kick time, expected to top out in the mid-80s later today in the Mile High city of Denver. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones back at Invesco, and they've done a good job of splitting the stadium because there are some passionate fans here. Sonny Lubeck, 15th year at Colorado State after a nice run to the University of Miami as a coordinator. Hard to believe it doesn't seem like 15 years, does it?
No, it really doesn't. He's been here a long time and done a great job with his program, and time tested. He gets the Rams ready to play.
Yeah, he just turned 70, and he said, well, same questions from you guys, so I guess some things never change. You can talk about my age if you want to. And Dan Hawkins, after a great run at Boise State in his second season as a head coach at Colorado, and he said now the expectations are different for the players as well. There's more confidence and accountability across the board.
Well, you kind of got to throw away last year. That was their get-started year. Didn't go well for Dan Hawkins. He's got his troops rejuvenated. They said they turned the page in January and got things started going the right way, he hopes.
Colorado won the toss, so Dan Hawkins' squad is going to get his son on the field very early. And Jason Smith ready to get into it. A junior from Centennial, guy that didn't have that many opportunities last year, but the Rams didn't score a lot last year.
Yeah, remember the kick line is now back to the 30-yard line.
Right, to bring the return back into college football. That's one of the big changes in college football this year. So Byron Ellis, Hugh Charles, back deep as we are underway. Big 12 Mountain West, and it is going to be Ellis bringing it back, and he is popped shy of the 20, lost the football, and a break that went right to a Buffalo as it's picked up, and a very alert play on special teams by R.J. Brown. Their special teams captain made the recovery. That's how hard the hit was.
Oh, any doubt that there's going to be some ferocious hitting in this ball game? A lot of smacking going down the field there on that kickoff, and that ball popped right out.
Yeah, a little pressure on this young man. He's had a great run from middle school on. You can see what his record is. He's a winner. He is 13th in the nation among high school quarterbacks when he committed to Colorado. Columbus, Palazzi, Sanders, Head, and Harrison. Now there's experience on this offensive line. You could not say the same about the offensive line of Colorado State. Charles, Cantrell, Williams, McKnight, along with Gear, their leading receiver, had tied in last year in a nice little gadget play. There goes Williams to the outside. He's got good yardage across. Patrick Williams, a junior from DeSoto, Texas.
And that's what you'll see from this offense. Mark Helfrich, the offensive coordinator, wants to give a lot of looks to the defense, and you see it here with Williams starting out. Little speed sweep comes across, good fake inside, and then the speed to the outside. Get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and Williams will certainly be one of those for the Buffs this season.
47 catches over the last 2 seasons for Patrick Williams. They couldn't get the ball in his hands enough last year because they couldn't get the ball downfield. They had no passing attack whatsoever. But what a way to make your playmakers touch the football. Taken from the H-back, little counter action, like a reverse. Cody Hawkins, first pass, college career, and it's complete. McKnight's got it past the midfield stripe. Scotty McKnight, the walk-on out of Coto de Casa, California. Orange County kid, Pagnotta and Kubiak, Clint Kubiak, Gary's son, head coach of the Texans, bringing him down.
Well, when you get started offensively, you want to be accurate as a passer, and that's what Cody Hawkins brings here. Talk about his passing ability. He knows the offense. He gets a little waggle there, gets it outside easily, and nice accurate throw. A little pressure in his face, gets a first hit as a collegiate quarterback, and gets a first completion, most importantly.
Across the midfield stripe, 1st and 10. Back-to-back first down. Hugh Charles slams it straight ahead. Not much available for the running back, the senior from Keller, Texas. But that's what they want to see out of him. More north and south than going to the sideline and bouncing around. And in fact, they give it to Sumler that time. And he is the inside tackle guy. Good reason. Hill, Sandy, Smith, and Jesse Nadine up front. Their 4-3 alignment for the Rams. Cornelson, Bernadette, and Podor, strength right there on the linebackers. And they've got some nice safeties as well in Kubiak and Pagnotta, Williams, and Rux on the outside. They got 9 starters back defensively, 9 offensively for the Rams. And now on the dump off, it is Hugh Charles. Kick out block to the 40, 30, and he pulled a hamstring.
Yeah, he may have. Looks like he came up lame after that, pulling his left hamstring there on that catch. That is very disappointing. to Hugh Charles and obviously the Buffalo fans to have him go down early in a ball game, just the first quarter, second time he's touched the football. Hugh Charles gets the quick little screen pass here to the outside, well executed by Cody Hawkins and the rest of the Buffaloes, but unfortunately at the end of the play coming out of bounds. Watch him pull up there on his left leg, and huge break here, or possibly a bad break for Colorado.
Boys, Mark Helford's the offensive coordinator of the Buffaloes. Open things up early. They started back at their own 17. Now 1st and 10 at the Rams 31. Sumler takes over in the backfield, and it's a direct snap to Demetrius Sumler, the freshman. Cuts it back, hits the hole. Boy, does he shoot the gap in a hurry. Well, inside the 24.
Well, Demetrius Sumler, he's a redshirt freshman, Joel, and they were going to split time with Hugh Charles and him today anyway, and that's not surprising that he's going to be in there a bulk of the load. They really like what he's done in fall camp, and see him here, the direct snap. The quarterback goes out high, out wide. Good job running outside. Physical runner as well. They, like you said earlier, they like to run him inside.
Yeah, he finished his high school career, left San Diego as the all-time high school rushing leader. Your key's coming in.
Yeah, really. They just got to throw and catch. They didn't do that a year ago. Keep their composure across the field and the team, and defensively communicate. They had some problems a year ago. Just settle down, and that's what Colorado needs to do in this football game to get started in 2007.
Hawkins going for the bundle, wide open, touchdown, Scotty McKnight.
Joel, when I look at that play, I say one word about the quarterback in his throw: smart. He knows exactly where he's going with the football here. He's got 2 deep coverage, and he knows he's got the waggle route to the outside. Corner's not pressing. The safety doesn't get outside. Good job of running the flag route. Excellent throw by Cody Hawkins, his first career touchdown pass for Colorado.
And what a beginning for a redshirt freshman. Guy that broke his ankle on the first day of spring drills, and he's all the way back in a big way. He's the holder as well. A little bit of everything for Scott McKnight. And Everhart, the guy that took over for Mason Crosby. What an actifado. So McKnight, his first career score. You think he's a little excited? An early 7-0 lead on an 83-yard drive by the Buffaloes of Colorado. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 football game of the week on FSN, all brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. By Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. And the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Live better with Overstock.com. It is all about the O. Right now, that's appropriate. All about the O as far as Colorado is concerned. Their offense, how impressive was that?
Great start, great drive to get going. McKnight catches the football from Cody Hawkins, and that's what Dan Hawkins would like to see from his offense. Consistency, throwing and catching the football, moving it down the field efficiently. Everything was clicking that time for Colorado.
And how about the start to his young career? 3 for 3 on the drive, 48 yards, 48 of the 83. So very impressive for the coach's son. He's got some pressure. And on the kick, over to the far side, George Hill from the 2. Looking for a crease, tripped up across the 20. Good coverage. He's down at the 22.
Well, we're going to take another look at the touchdown here. This is what's smart about Cody Hawkins. He's the quarterback. He sees the safety. He knows he's going to be in cover 2. He's got a receiver on the college hash mark, which is outside here. He knows he's going to run the flag route. The safety cannot get over in time. It's a safe, easy throw. The cornerback falls short. Excellent job of reading the defense, and a nice throw to finish it off. Got a little coach in him as well, don't you think, Joel?
Yeah, he's coach on the field. That's what they said during his high school career. Now the young man outside of Dallas, Forney, Texas, the senior Caleb Caney at 6'2", 235. On a play fake. He's got the middle of the field, and he's got his favorite target last year, Johnny Walker. He had 10 catches for 158 yards against the Buffaloes in the win last year.
Yeah, Haney, the senior quarterback, obviously knows what he's doing back there. He reads the defense. Good pump fake. Gets him up the seam here. Good throw to Walker right there behind the defender. Good start there for Colorado State, trying to answer the Buffaloes here on their first drive.
And two teams that really struggled offensively last year, so it's ironic this is the way to begin the game this year.
Well, I think they both come in with renewed, optimism for their offensive attack. You get Kyle Bell back in the offense here, and Caleb Haney, returning senior starting quarterback. Good things should happen for them if they execute.
Kyle Bell met in the middle and pushed back after a gain of only 2. He's got it across the 46 to the 47. R.J. Brown put his shoulder into him. A team captain on specials, the guy that recovered the opening kick. Well, Caleb Haney, he's lost some weight, and the coaches say much more agile. His footwork is much better all the way through drills this fall. Very inexperienced offensive line. Martinez is a sophomore. He started 10 games last year, but there are 3 sophomores starting on that offensive line. Gartrell Johnson, he can play tailback too, and he did last year. Walker, Roberts, Corey Sperry had a lot of touchdowns for them last season. In fact, the game winner has just chugging his way right up the middle, and he's a leader. That's why they really wanted him back. He's a guy that everybody looks up to. Kyle Bell on the carry.
Yeah, and he's an experienced player too. He reads the cutback lane real well. Here's just a downhill zone play, and he cuts it back against the nose, against the grain of the defense. He gets 8 or 9 yards, so it brings up a 3rd and short here. Chance for Colorado State to pick this one up. Kyle Bell getting back in form here for his redshirt junior season after missing all of last year with a torn ACL.
Made a little more than a yard on 3rd down. And we're going to have a timeout called by Colorado. Didn't like the formation. At least the personnel they had defensively for the Rams formation.
Timeout of the half.
So we'll do the same. Take a timeout. Almost 4 minutes gone by on a very entertaining beginning. Bright, sunny start for Dan Hawkins, and especially the Hawkins family after the way Cody performed. Colorado trying to get a stop now. Sonny Lubeck on the other side, though. He's playing catch up early. Last year was a shootout at the outset. In fact, they went into the locker room, combined 24 points. They didn't score a single point in the second half as Colorado State won it 14-10. Last year, the Buffaloes could not get off the field. Their defense, one of the worst in college football.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with the offense too, because the offense put them out there in many situations where the offense just didn't convert, and so it was tough for Colorado to maintain on defense as well. So it goes hand in hand.
And now it's going to be a single to the backfield of Kyle Bell, and Caleb Haney, he's got some stock, doesn't he? He found that little gap, little stutter step, waited, patience, 2 yards to his center and right guard.
He's a big athletic quarterback, Joel. You talked about him losing some weight this year, being a little more efficient, and did a good job getting that first down for Colorado State.
Time now for a Dr. Pepper game break. Mike Goldberg, what's the latest?
All right, we're going to go to the big house. Joel, number 5, Michigan, facing their 138th different opponent in their 126 years. It's Appalachian State. Michael Hart screwed early, but then Armonte Edwards to Dexter Jackson. 68-yard touchdown. The Mountaineers are tied with the Wolverines 7-7 first quarter. Back to you.
A shocker in the making, we know, and a nice stiff arm along the way. The tight end Corey Sperry, who caught the game winner in the second quarter, actually, of last year's game. His up against the strong side backer Brad Jones.
Yeah, both quarterbacks coming out sharp. You see the pressure on the outside. He knows it's coming. Get it outside of the tight end, which he does pretty easily. And both these quarterbacks throwing effectively. They're reading the defenses, just executing like we talked about at the outset here. You do those things, the good things are going to happen for your offense.
And Sperry's a guy they can count on. He's got 78 catches over the previous 2 seasons. So good hands, good blocker with that kind of size. At a first down after a gain of 14. So from their own 23, a first down as Bell waits, lets the pursuit slide by. Boy, that was a veteran running back, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good play that time by Kyle Bell. Just as you said, he stutter stepped. You take the downhill zone read play. He's done this twice now. Just pick his spot. He sees the opening, come backside. Doesn't have to hurry to get there and get hit by the first Buffalo through the line. And goes backside a little bit and cuts up for 5 yards.
And Gary, you know it's your explosion when you do see the crease. You do see the hole.
Yeah, and that just shows you that his knee is well. Is all well. It's all better. He practiced well in camp. They rested him at times. He got a little bit sore, but Kyle Bell held up very well in 2 days. And Sonny Lubeck says, hey, he's going to be out there as much as he can because this young man is deserved and ready to play.
Little slant, turn in or out, and it's complete. It goes to Luke Roberts for a first down. That's Luke's first grab of the season. Young man from Golden, Colorado. The senior at 6'2", 205 in front of Benjamin Burney.
Well, when you can throw the ball outside here and go bingo right here, just catch the football. Cornerback's playing off a little bit, a lot of cushion there. Good easy throw that time for Caleb Haney, and both quarterbacks starting out very well. No incomplete passes yet in this ball game.
Now Caleb Haney is now 3 for 3, 44 yards with that completion. And that's what Cody Hawkins was on his first drive, 3 for 3. First and 10 Rams. At the 17 of the Buffaloes. In counter action, bouncing out is Bell. Again, he could have taken it in the middle. There wasn't anything available. Read it, and made decent yardage, 3, almost 4.
Yeah, that's the inside counter there. That time they're trying to bring the guard and tackle around to the backside and get around, and nothing there. You see, good job here defensively, stepping up there. Number 91 on the outside, Maurice Lucas holding things inside, and Kyle Bell has to force it around to the outside. Good pursuit there by Colorado.
Impressive drives by both teams to start the contest. As the clock rolls inside of 9 minutes in the first 15 minutes of the new college football season on FSN. Dr. Pepper, Big 12 game of the week. Big 12 Mountain West. Good matchup every year with these two. Bell breaks through the arm tackle. Look out. Almost a first down. He's shy by a yard and a half. He's a tough runner.
He does. He's got a good balance, and he comes through there powerful. He's got good explosion. I like what I see out of him, and he's going to make the first guy miss. That's what you have to do sometimes. Break through those first arm tackles there. Can't grab him there. Good job by Walters, a safety coming up there and grabbing him and getting him to the ground. But that explosive run there by Kyle Bell brings up a 3rd and short here.
Emily, what's the latest downstairs?
Well, guys, Kyle Bell is 6'2", 230, and Colorado linebacker Jordan Dyson said, "We've got to take our Tylenol and strap up." They know what a punishing running back he can be.
Yeah, get your anti-inflammatories ready. It's 3rd, little more than a yard. Will it be Bell? Yes. Waits. He's close. I think he's got it. Yes. Just inside the 7, down to the 6. And if he doesn't wait, he runs up the back of his own blocker.
And this has to be very, very pleasing to Sonny Lubick, because this offense had no running game last year. I tell you, everything on the shoulders of the quarterback. They could not run the football. Now you take the offensive line, getting good holes here for the running back to get through, and Kyle Bell taking advantage of it. So when you can run the football and then you can throw when you want to, that's exactly what Sonny Lubick wants to do. Have a good balanced offensive attack.
74% of their offense was from Caleb Haney last year. They didn't have many options, did they? Bell, no room, good penetration. In a short field, short area, the Buffaloes get the stop, no gain. Hippolyte and their strength up front underneath their 2 tackles, Nicholas and Hippolyte, get the job done.
Yeah, those 2 guys inside, a couple of defensive tackles that they're kind of the heart and soul of that defense inside. It all starts up front with these 2 guys right there at the line of scrimmage, and when they can hold up and make penetration, it's going to be hard for offenses to run on them. Both Hippolyte 86 and Nicholas number 94, both those guys are stalwarts out there, and they feel like they've got a good pair of defensive tackle inside.
Their second team all Big 12 last year. The kid out of Loyola High School in downtown Los Angeles. On 2nd and goal. Time wide open, corner of the end zone. Sperry's there. Touchdown Rams.
Joel, just a nice leverage route there by Sperry. He's on the outside of the linebacker, Brad Jones, and he works to the corner. He puts his hand up and tells his quarterback, "Throw me the football." Watch here, he's going to work to the outside, and watch his hand go up in the air. He knows he's open. He's outside of Brad Jones, the linebacker who has him in coverage, and Caleb Haney is on fire today, as well as the rest of this Colorado State offense.
Yeah. Haney hasn't missed either, like Cody Hawkins. It's a wild beginning. Point after, Jason Smith gets it, and we are all even in the Rocky Mountain Showdown. So as we go to the break, Sperry got away after a little bump on the line, and the Rams respond. It is all even at 7. Perfect start for Caleb Haney, just like Cody Hawkins. We are tied at 7, and Gary Reasons, you know, as a backer, if you're going to jam the tight end, you got to disrupt his route.
Yeah, you got to do that. Williams doesn't do that. He doesn't disrupt him. He gets to the outside, good leverage, and he knows he's open, throws that hand up, and great job by Haney getting the ball in there. And easy throw and catch that time to your big tight end.
And now that Hugh Charles is out of the lineup, at least temporarily, as they go over the successful drive, and it was 6 plays, 83 yards, and nice balance in that drive. I mean, it was almost 50-50 run and pass in that drive for Haney with Bell back.
We got a nice tennis match going here. Both teams holding serve.
Yes. Wheatley's back, but it's going to be Ellis taking it, and he's got it up across the 11. And look out. There he goes. Down the sideline. Will it be bumped out? Yes. And it was Wheatley, not Ellis, who brought it back with a big play. And he's only in there because of the injury, the hamstring to Hugh Charles.
Well, Wheatley, he's got the speed. Definitely, he's a cornerback. He's one of the best in the Big 12. And get his hands on the football. He's going to know what to do with it. Go north and south. Great blocking. Great wedge that time. And then he just takes it to the outside. He knows he's going to win that corner most of the time. He just ran out of real estate, Joel. Had the white line come into play. And I tell you, he was excited about that. Great job of return game. I think we're going to see a lot of that in college football this year, especially with the yard marker for the kickoff and moved back to the 30-yard line. And Wheatley with a nice job there with the return.
His first team all Big 12 last year. They're on the corner, but they haven't used him over the last couple of years as a return man. They didn't need to. Cody Hawkins with Byron Ellis in the backfield. You see Sumler as well, the redshirt freshman. Scott McKnight's got their first score of the new season. And from the 46 is short field for the Buffaloes. A direct snap to Dallas. Didn't fool the Rams, did it? Out of the edge, staying home. Great play on the outside by the safety, Pagnotta. As we head back to Mike Goldberg. Dr. Pepper game break. Mike.
How about this, Joel? Joe Paterno opening up his record-breaking 42nd season as the head coach of Penn State. Number 18, Penn State, Appalachian State. All Nittany Lions, 7-0. Now make it 14-0. Anthony Morelli to Mickey Schuler, 17-yard score. All Penn State early. Back to you in Denver.
And what a shot, Mike. What a surprise. 14-0 State. It's tied at 7 here. After the play fake, Hawkins with time. Wide open McKnight. What did he find him on the crossing route? Inside the 15, another breakdown to the middle of the field for Colorado State. Good protection, too.
Was great protection and a great play fake here inside. The linebackers bid on the play fake, and that's what allows McKnight to have a chance to do this. Watch the play fake and watch the linebacker step up here. He's not going to be able to get back in coverage, which is where the ball is going to be thrown right here. You see him bite on that, and then the ball is thrown right where he was supposed to be. Good job of execution on the play fake, and nice easy throw to McKnight.
Now, Scott's father played his college ball at UC Davis with Coach Hawkins. That's why he's a walk-on, and he's, well, we can tell, he's got some skills. They fake it to Williams, bang it up ahead. That's Sumler inside the 11-yard line for a gain of a little bit more than 3. And you can see the power that they talked about, a guy that doesn't waste any time between the tackles.
No hesitation there for Sumler going inside. And what I like here about Mark Helfrich's offense is he gives you diversity. He gives you a lot of different looks, makes the defense prepare for a lot of different things that they have to do. And look at Cody Hawkins' numbers on the day. Those are pretty pristine. Completions, everything 100% and 1 touchdown. Just moving right along here. This offense is clicking pretty well.
Well, you talk about Mark Helfrich, their offensive coordinator. He said Dan stayed out of the process in naming the quarterback. He removed himself from the decision-making. He left it up to the staff, the offensive staff. Here comes the heat on the edge over the middle. Touchdown, Colorado. Found the tight end. DeVray, the senior from Buena Vista, Colorado.
Now just working between the safeties. DeVray does a good job of working in there. And good sharp pass by Cody Hawkins. Kind of threads the needle here. You see the 2 safeties going to be there. DeVray's going to work right in the middle between them. And bingo, right there. Nice throw, nice catch. Good target.
Point after, Everhart pumps it through. So a 10-yard touchdown pass. And don't wake Cody Hawkins up whatever you do. How about 5 of 5 with a couple of scores, and we've still got time in the first quarter.
I think he likes to play early. You know, his first collegiate start, getting up here at 10 a.m. starting Mountain Time, and all these players, these offenses, both teams are really firing on all cylinders. Passing game's working, the run game is working. Maybe we'll get a little defense here before long, Joel, but great start here for Cody Hawkins.
Yeah, Gary Reason's former linebacker with the New York Giants, played at a very high level, and this is killing you.
Oh, it's killing me. You know it. You know, as a linebacker, I'm seeing things that exactly what those linebackers need to do. They need to be in those passing lanes. You can't bite on the play fake. You've got to take number 2 down the middle. These are little things that they teach linebacking play, and the defenses aren't doing it right now. They've got to pick it up a bit.
So a short field, and they capitalized after the great return by Wheatley. It was only 46 yards, 4 plays.
You talked about Cody Hawkins in the process of how did they decide on putting him to be their starting quarterback? Well, there's actually 3 quarterbacks that Colorado had to evaluate coming into camp, and Cody Hawkins essentially was the most accurate passer. And you know, we talked to Dan Hawkins at the Big 12 Media Days, and he told us that he talked to Gil Brandt. Gil Brandt, he talked to him, say, how do you evaluate? Gil Brandt, a former Dallas Cowboy general manager and player personnel director. He says, how do you evaluate a quarterback first and foremost? And Gil told him, hey, accuracy. Well, the one thing that Cody Hawkins brings to the table is accuracy. He's a very accurate passer. You see that early on, and Dan Hawkins, his staff evaluated the 3 quarterbacks, and that was the biggest asset that he had, and that's why he's got the job.
Yeah, he's not got a big gun. Mark Helfrich said it's not the strength in his arm. He's a timing guy to begin with.
It's kind of a timing offense as well. You see, he reads the defense well, and when you're able to do that, you're able to see what's going on out there. And he understands this offense. Been in the year, and now his redshirt freshman year, a chance to get out there and play for the first time.
True freshman Tyler Cope kicks it away. It's going to be a short one, and it's George Hill from the 12. Room, and what a lane he's got to run through. Across the 35. Great field position for Colorado State.
Yeah, similarly like Colorado did earlier. You saw Wheatley bring the kick back, and now Colorado State does the same thing. I think these kickoff rules are really going to have an impact this year. You're going to see more kick returns and more offensive opportunities in better field position.
Let's check in with Emily Jones. Emily.
Well, guys, Hugh Charles has not been in the game since the opening drive of this game, and he's received a battery of treatments here on the sidelines. That left hamstring that he tweaked, they put some ointment on it, and the way they did that was some of his teammates made a makeshift dressing room, allowed him to take off part of his uniform, rub some ointment on that hamstring, and then he's been stretching it out. He's been riding this bicycle. As you can see, he's doing everything he can to get back in the game. He picked up his helmet and put it on that last Colorado drive, but he never made it into the game. His status is officially listed as questionable, but it looks like he's itching to get back in this one.
Well, it'd be interesting to see because they really challenged him in fall drills this year.
I tell you what, though, hamstring, you really don't want to press those things. If they can get real bad in a hurry, or they can just be a small problem. If any way they can hold him out of playing in this ball game, is probably what they ought to do. Be very cautious and let Sumler play. Let the other running backs get an opportunity there. I really wouldn't force him back in there, although I know Hugh Charles wants to play desperately in this football game.
First down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships $2.95 at Overstock.com. Live better with Overstock.com. Getting away, Haney doing a good job. Boy, he turned a loss of about 6 yards with his pure strength, and he got about 3 or 4 yards on the carry.
Well, he's got a little bit of quicks. He's got some elusiveness back there. He ran a little bit last year. And they know that he can move the football, and more importantly, he made a good decision. Pull the ball down. Try to make something positive out of that. Don't make a bad throw. Don't put your offense in a situation where a turnover may occur. And good job by breaking a tackle there and gets positive yardage. And
the way he tucks it and runs, he looks like a guy that's had 23 career starts. He looks real comfortable and confident out there. But now they've got a third and make it 3 as they place it to the 47.
And a key play here for Colorado defensively. If they can get the first defensive stop here this ball game, haven't seen one here for either defense.
Now one of the worst at stopping the opponents. We talked about that graphic earlier. Gave up 48% on third down last year. And they get a 3 and out here in a short field for Colorado State. Haney's going to run for the first down. And that's just a good recognition by the quarterback. He looked at Johnny Walker on the shallow cross, and that was taken away. It would have been a low percentage throw. Dies on, finally gets him.
Yeah, I think he wanted his tight end, Walker, going up the middle, but he didn't turn inside. So he had the ball pumped and cocked, ready to throw the football, but he pulls it down and makes the first down on his own. They just needed a couple of yards. A good job by Haney again, making a good decision to get yardage with his feet.
Last year is basically their only source of offense. They ran Johnson better than 100 times, but only had a 3-yard average. And Kyle Bell's a different story. He's the single right now as they spread the defense with 3 wide receivers. 11 minutes gone. Bell stops on a dime. Boy, they had him dead in the backfield, didn't they? He still gets 2 yards.
You've got 2 Buffaloes back there in the backfield, and neither one of them touched him. That's a good job by Kyle Bell, recognizing, hey, I'm not going there where the black shirts are. I'm going to go somewhere else. And stop and start. You see 2 of them come up there right through the line of scrimmage. Bingo. And he turns around and goes the other way.
His offensive lineman, a little nudge. Yeah, that's the right guard, Nicolata, helped out ever so slightly. And it's interesting to talk about Kyle Bell. He's not a speed guy. He's not a small guy, Gary. He's 6'2", 230. So he shows his elusiveness despite that on 2nd and 8. And now looking up the middle of the field, made the first miss, not the second though. Only a gain of a yard, yard and a half. So 3rd and long for the first time. Brad Jones, a strong side backer, pushed him back.
But they've got a commitment to the running game, which I think is what they really would like to do. Talking to Dan Hammersmith, the offensive coordinator, they want to commit to running the football, and you got to do that sometimes on 1st and 2nd down. You may not get the result that you want, but you've got to be able to commit to it and force defenses to stop you up the middle running with the running game. And their quarterback is very capable. Caleb Haney, he's going to get him out of situations, and now he's going to be forced to probably throw this football for a first down. But they've got to be committed to that running game because they weren't a year ago.
From the 41, it'll be a 3rd and 7 for the Rams. 3 wide receivers set again. Pocket holds up for Haney, a bullet. Johnny Walker from Haney. First down, Colorado State inside the 30, down to the 29.
Well, This is going pretty well here, almost through the entire first quarter. Neither quarterback has an incompletion in this football game, and a nice throw to Walker coming inside here on the slant route.
Flag deep in the secondary.
Watch a little step move inside there, gets inside the linebacker, no jam. He can jam inside of 5 yards, but doesn't do so.
After the play, unsportsmanlike, number 7 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
So it's a dead ball foul. They've got the first down already, and that was maybe Johnny Walker feeling like he was playing on Sunday instead of Saturday.
That happens sometimes. A little excited there, and just a mistake that he made, but good play that time getting the first down. So they're just going to re-tee it up here again, but they'll get a first down opportunity again because that was after the play.
So it's back to the 44 instead of down inside the 30. Back downstairs. Let's go to Emily Jones. Emily.
Guys, you were talking about the efficiency of the quarterbacks in this game. It's old hat for Caleb Haney. Last year he completed his first 14 passes in this game. He finished 20 for 23 for 233 yards and a touchdown. It's hard to follow that up, but he's doing pretty well in his encore performance.
Yeah, he's 5 of 5 so far, and you bring it up because he threw away 2 balls.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, he had only really 1 miss. So timeout has been called. We'll keep it right here. 2 old rivals, and in fact, when you look at the series, Gary, the game's played here on a neutral side, although Colorado is the home team, and they alternate at Invesco every year. So Colorado State, the home team last year when they won. Believe it or not, Colorado State has the edge when they've played in the Mile High City. And not by much, but by a game, they have an edge.
Yeah, this is a game here, and I tell you, we talked to Dan Hawkins about this game and how it was played a year ago and his thoughts.
I knew it was not going to be easy. I knew it was going to be tough. That's why I came here. I felt despite everything that happened, I thought our staff stayed positive, and I stayed positive, and our kids stayed positive, and we battled through it. And hey, there's no excuses. I'm not one of these guys that sits say, well, we learned a lot. You know, we were 2-10, and it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, that'll test you.
Yeah, it really did.
Especially after you lose your opener, not to Colorado State, but to Montana State at home.
Yeah, that was tough for them. But I tell you, when you talk to Dan Hawkins, he has an infectious personality. He's a guy that gets everybody up. He's got a motor that runs 90 miles an hour, and I think his players love that about him. He's a straight shooter. He'll talk right to you. He'll tell you what's up. He'll tell you how he feels and lays his heart on your sleeve.
He had an amazing run at Boise State. First down, Colorado State at the Buffaloes 44. Bell cutting back against the grain. Good footwork again by Kyle Bell for a gain of a little bit more than 5.
Well, just this offensive line doing a good job on the zone blocking here. You get movement to the right, and Kyle Bell cuts you back. You take a look at him, just a press holder right there, and you see you got angles there. And then the angle that Bell is taking, he's going here and then cutting back behind the line. The defensive linemen need to stay backside of their helmet. That's not what they're doing. They're going front side, and Kyle Bell reads it right behind him. 3 or 4 times he's got that nice cutback lane today.
The end came over at a Rangeview High School in Denver. Maurice Lucas on the solo stop. Bell bouncing out. No, he won't. Great penetration. Yeah, nice. Brandon Nicholas got underneath.
Yeah, good penetration by Nicholas, and he knows what to do when he gets there. The big 290-pound junior, 57 tackles last year, and the guy can play inside and get upfield, and that's what you need to do. Penetration and stop a powerful running back.
He had to sit out a season when he came because he transferred from Notre Dame, big-time program in Santa Ana, California. He played it for the Monarchs of Mater Dei High School, 6'3", 300-pounder. So can they convert on 3rd down? Perfect so far. 3rd and a long 7. Pocket holds up for Haney. The dump off. Corey Sperry. When they get there, stretches, and he got it. That arm out there, that made a difference.
Wow.
He got it by about a football, maybe a little bit more.
Well, he dragged Jordan Dyes on just enough for the first down if he gets it. Stretch it out there. They're marking it as a first down. Good patience here by Haney. He says, I'm going to drop it off to the tight end, and got his fullback who could block, but he doesn't do it. And good tackle. But look at the stretch, the long arm out there. I tell you, look at this. Look at the first down. He's got his eyes looking there towards the first down marker and knows exactly where to go. It's an impressive play by Sperry.
Yeah, how many guys look over to the sideline? He did. He's a senior from Pueblo, Colorado. Good read. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Rams inside the 34 of the Buffaloes. Good play fake. And the guy that he faked it to was available. Making Dyes on miss. Good move again by Bell. He's got another first down. How impressive has he been early in this game?
Yeah, throw the ball to him. Go ahead and let him get the ball in his hands that way as well. Work him into this offense. And Little check down route there for him. Easy throw for Haney over the middle. And they get to him here on the check down. This is a check down right. He comes out, gets in front, and dives on the linebacker, and then pretty good speed here. It only just kind of makes him miss, too.
And Gary, they didn't say he had a torn ACL. When they described his last year, they said it was a ruptured ACL.
Yeah, they had the whole thing in there kind of blown up. But I tell you, he was remarkable in his rehab, very dedicated to it. I tell you, that's kind of the heart and soul of this team, too. They love him as a person and what he's done coming back from that, and happy to have him out there.
Busted play for Caleb Haney. And look at him manufacture some yards out of it. So he didn't know where he wanted to go because he knew he was in no man's land, and he still got close to a first down.
Now, the stars align for Caleb Haney today. They are so far. Completing every pass he's thrown. Now look at this. It's a busted play. Kyle Bell not there where he's supposed to be, and just let him snaking through. Nobody gets a hand on him in the backfield, and he knows what to do with it.
That's the experience in the backfield of Colorado State, though, with a senior quarterback and a running back like Kyle Bell, who's run for better than 1,200 yards. It's behind a very young offensive line, and the quarterback's perfection so far. 12 for 12, a combined 170 yards with 3 scores. This is entertaining stuff, Gary.
I talked about execution at the start of this telecast, and we were seeing it from both offenses today.
They stack Bell. He's right at the marker. May need to measure it. Brandon Nicholas again there. He is a load.
Yeah, those guys inside, they're going to play hard for Colorado, give them a chance to stop, and it looks like they're going to have to measure this probably to come out and take a look at it.
So 11 seconds left in an outstanding start to a great cross-state rivalry. Only 45 miles separating Colorado and Colorado State, Fort Collins and Boulder. And what venue says well? We're at Invesco at Mile High today, but I've done games in both sites. A lot of fun when we come here. So they're short by about a foot. So one more snap for Sonny Lubeck before the end of the quarter, and you got to feel it's going to be, well, I'd do Haney again, the way he just went through his center and guard on the right side and found that gap. The big guy.
Well, it's a sure thing. Get the ball in the hands of your quarterback. No other handoffs, and we've seen no mistakes today offensively for either of these teams. No fumbles, no interceptions, anything like that. Very, very few penalties in this ball game, so it's been a pretty clean ball game all around.
Highly thought of quarterback out of high school in Forney outside of Dallas. And they've got a great split. You can see Invesco packed. And it's 75,000. It's almost capacity, just shy of capacity today. And what an atmosphere in the state capitol. So third to foot. And the clock running. They won't get the snap off, I don't believe. No, that'll do it for the quarter. Couldn't ask for much more, but that's from me, not an inside linebacker like Gary Reasons.
Been a very entertaining first quarter for sure, offensively for sure, Joel.
They marched up and down the field. In fact, the two teams combining for just about 300 yards of total offense in the first 15 minutes of play. 21 on the board, and the Buffaloes in the Big 12 over the Rams, the Mountain West by 7 at the end of the first. Welcome back once again as we continue with the Dr. Pepper Big 12 game of the week. Joel Myers along with Gary Reasons, Emily Jones down the sideline. It's the Buffaloes of Colorado on top by 7 despite the fact that they had the ball for only 4 minutes of the first 15 minutes of play.
Yeah, Colorado State just maintaining the football on a couple of long drives here now with a chance to perhaps put some more points on the board and tie this thing back up. Both offensive just flawless today.
Yeah, it's perfect. Both quarterbacks perfect. And one of the most misleading stats in all of football, college or pro, is time of possession. It's what you do with the ball when you have it.
Yeah, get the ball, points on the board, very, very succinctly done.
So now it's going to be third and about a foot. Johnson in there, last year's tailback, and I like Haney, and he goes for it. He's got the first down. Smart play. Don't waste any time giving it off to the fullback, the tailback. You got a quarterback as big as Haney, as thick as that young man, and he's got the first down.
Yeah, more importantly, bad things can happen when you turn the hand off. If you can get it with the quarterback, just go with one exchange there with the quarterback center exchange. Go through it, and you see right down the sideline here, and Haney just inching forward, definitely gets across the line.
Haney is 7 of 7 passing into the first 15 minutes of play for 80 yards and a score.
It'd be interesting to see which one of these defenses make some adjustments to put pressure on either team's quarterback. We haven't seen any of that today.
Power formation to the short side of the field. They'll run it to that side of the field. Bell looking, won't get any help. There's penetration again, and it was the same guy who got into the backfield, Hippolyte. He collared him early. The others cleaned up R.J. Brown, but he slowed him down, and he's got some speed for underneath tackle, doesn't he?
We talked about Nicholas earlier. Now Hippolyte gets into the action. 86, he comes underneath there, and gets plays off the block. That's what you need to do. Control the offensive lineman with your hands, play off the block, and then go and accelerate to the tackle.
That's a loss of 3 back to the 16. And one of the few times there's been negative yardage for either side. Colorado has only had 10 snaps in the game, and they're averaging almost 13 per snap. So they made the most of their chances. Now 2nd and long. Bell again. Big lane over to the left side. Can he bounce out? He does. He's close to a first down to the 5. Short of the first down marker by a couple.
Yeah, when you have a fullback that blocks like Gartrell Johnson, number 5, you're going to be able to do these things with Kyle Bell. The fullback does a great job on the lead block here. Kick out. Watch the left side of your screen here, number 5. Get this kick out block on the linebacker. Bingo, right there. Kyle Bell right behind it, and he knows what to do with it. Go north and south. And first one can't get him down, and Ryan Walters coming over making another saving tackle. So good job here blocking Gartrell Johnson.
So they are 6 for 6 on their 3rd downs as they prepare for this 3rd and short. 3rd and about 2.5 yards from the 5. So in tight quarters, give it to Johnson. Bangs it, won't get it. Use Bell as the decoy, going to the wide side.
He's kind of their red area, tough zone, tough yardage back anyway. They like to put him back at the tailback spot sometimes, and they think giving the ball to him inside a little bit is a good thing for his offense. And can't put it all on the shoulders of Kyle Bell. Got to have a little balance there, and good when you can run and block, as Johnson can do.
Well, they're going to go for it. They're bringing Johnny Walker onto the field, taking out the extra back. Gartrell Johnson, this is a surprise. 4th and a little more than a yard, about a yard and a half. Opening 2+ minutes of the 2nd.
Going right into the Colorado fans here. They're loud down there.
Something came onto the field. We'll toss that over to the side. And that did not hurt Colorado State coming up to the line. They get extra time now. It's a Big 12 officiating crew led by Greg Burks.
Yeah, and that's exactly the yellow shirts or the gold shirts is exactly what the offense is looking at. You see all the noise, or that's the Colorado band. It's loud down here.
Timeout for Colorado State. They'll have time to think about it and kick a field goal if they like. I take the 3. We'll come right back. Time on the field for Sonny Lubick and his crew. We'll be back after this word from Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottlers in a good one in the mile-high city of Denver. Will they be able to keep the drive alive or get into the end zone? That is the question as we welcome you back to the Dr. Pepper Big 12 game of the week in Denver. Joel Myers along with Gary Reasons and Emily Jones. It's 4th and about a yard and a half, Gary.
Well, they're going for it here. This is a call that Sonny Lubick's decided to go with here. Put the pressure on his offense, and it'd be an interesting way to have this thing end or continue.
2 tight ends set on the roll. Haney wide open, touchdown. Corey Sperry. Told you to go for the field goal.
Well, when you have confidence in your senior quarterback to make the right decision, which he does, and Sperry, who's had a monster game today, 3 catches so far, a couple of touchdowns. So Caleb Haney just doing the waggle pass here, and Sperry works inside, and then the release back to the outside. Good throw, good catch. Excellent execution that time by Colorado State.
Point after, Jason Smith on the hold, the punter. Jimmy Kidder, that's the definition of a long drive. Short field, long drive, though, 17 snaps. Time for a Dr. Pepper game break as we are all tied at 14 in Denver. Back to Mike Goldberg. Mike?
Well, guess what, Joel? They're all tied at 14 at the Big House. Number 5, Michigan, Appalachian State. Wolverines leading 14-7, but watch out. Armonte Edwards, he had 2 touchdown passes in his first 5 attempts to tie the game at 14. How about Michael Hart? 10 rushes, 57 yards. He's got a touchdown. Not a bad start for the Heisman hopeful, but a big upset in the making.
Okay, Mike, and every time you see that team, Appalachian State, let's face it, they've got athletes. They've got playmakers on the offensive side in particular.
Yeah, and there's some guys out here in the stands think they can fly. Take a look at the touchdown. You watch your tight end. He works inside and then works back to the outside. Caleb Haney's going to zip this right there. Good timing, right between the defenders. That's well executed, guys.
Wheatley is going to go back again on the kick. How about Haney? He hasn't missed yet. 2 scores. His quarterback rating a little high. Both quarterbacks red hot to start. And Corey Sperry, who had the game winner last year in their 14-10 win for the Rams over the Buffaloes.
All right, we're going to see
got 2 already.
We're going to see some defense here somewhere, Joel.
Yeah, sure. It's kicked away to Wheatley, who had a great return. 2 yards into the end zone, he'll bring it out. Behind Byron Ellis. And trips over his own man past the 23. Give him just about the 24. And that's where the Buffaloes are going to have it. Well, they had a long field the first time, and it didn't bother them. And Cody Hawkins' debut as they got the ball to start the game, and they went 83 yards. Now they get it back 76 yards away from pay dirt. Tied at 14. I don't think either quarterback's going to miss today, by the way. Just thought I'd put that out there early.
You know, that's a good thing for a quarterback, too. Cody Hawkins has some success out there. Very quick series. Had been on the field a lot. Now he's able to watch the game, kind of get into the flow of things, and just all coming to him. And that's what's good for a quarterback to get out there. And it's actually good to watch the other team's quarterback execute, and he's seen a senior operate today.
Sumler in the backfield, split with Jagoras, and they're going to give it on the end around to the wide receiver. Robinson takes it across the 28 out to the 30. And check that on the carry. Yes, it was Robinson, the senior from Denver.
Yeah, the
little guy at 5'8".
Same speed sweep we saw early to start the ball game with Patrick Williams, who got the ball. Now it's Robinson, Stephon Robinson, coming around the edge and turning up. And twice they've run that play for success. Colorado has.
Got 6 yards. Boy, that's a timing play. You better be in rhythm and sync.
30.
So 2nd and 4. More than 3 minutes gone by in the second 15 minutes of play. Hawkins out of the gun on the delay. Nothing available for the running back. Byron Ellis kind of chugged his way for a couple. He made it 3rd and short. A little less than 2 as he got it across the 32.
And not only do they vary the offensive formations here, they also vary the offensive line splits. That play that last time between the left guard and left tackle, Joel, there was about a 5-foot split. And it looks like what Texas Tech does with their offensive line, trying to make the changes here. Take a look at the offensive line right here. See the split that they've got there between that guard and tackle? That's huge. Trying to invite somebody up the field to run the draw play.
Well, they've got a jumbo formation with a 2 tight end set. And on the counter action, it's going to be Cody Hawkins on the outside. He's going to run for it. He'll get it. He really wanted the tight end drag, didn't he?
No, the tight end couldn't get out. He was behind the game. And Cody Hawkins using his feet to get outside, trying to get to his tight end out there. Just couldn't get out there fast enough for him. Cody Hawkins on the waggle pass here. Watch the tight end going to come up. He can't get outside. He get walled inside there by the linebacker, and Hawkins takes it around the corner. So he's got enough wheels there. It's kind of like Caleb Haney on the outside.
So he's got a first down on his first career carry.
His scorecard looks pretty good. I'm going to talk about that here in a second. I asked Mark Helfrich about a scorecard or a report card for his quarterback, what it would look like. And here's an interesting play. He comes out of the shotgun there.
Yeah, they bunch him on one side of the field, then come back with counter action and a direct snap. And what a run for a first down by Sumler. Boy, we're seeing a little bit of everything early from both offenses.
Yeah, I talked about Cody Hawkins and what Mark Helfrich would like for him to have, and we'd like to have execution by his offense, no doubt about that, and things are working well for him. You see the direct snap and the positive yardage, but what he really wants from Cody is an efficient day. You know, he just don't be anything bad happen to him. Well, it's been 100% efficient today. Throwaways are fine. He hasn't had to do that, and also let him know that it's okay to punt the football. Hasn't had to force anything, so his scorecard looks just like what his offense coordinator would like it to be, Mark Helfrich.
Sumler cutting and, boy, going over the linebacker for a couple of extra yards. One of a Ricky Brewer and Cornelson. And Cornelson was the guy who got up and tried to get to him. Bakersfield, California kid.
You know, these two teams, both these teams offensively have been preparing for this one game, for this one day, quite a bit here. And both offenses are executing very well with what they prepared for.
First down marker all brought to you this afternoon by Overstock.com.
Both put in a couple of wrinkles that the defenses probably haven't seen yet, and they haven't caught up yet to in this ballgame.
Cantrell in for the first time. And on a play fake, Hawkins low throw and a short throw, and the man was available. As that's his first incompletion. Sliding down, he wanted Celestine, the true freshman. Young man out of a town of 2,500 people, Manu, Louisiana.
Well, I'm a realist, and I knew it was going to happen sometime. It's going to have an incomplete pass, and just kind of short-armed that when it bounced out there. And Colorado, they've definitely had some QBs against Colorado State, and what they've done, pretty good stuff from these guys. You see the numbers, Cordell Stewart in that group, Joel Klatt, huge numbers, 409 yards, Stewart.
Yeah, but your dad's not the head coach on the sideline. There's a difference, isn't there?
There's definitely a difference.
That kind of pressure on you. And now 3rd and 5. It looked like early offense, unfortunately, on the far side from Scotty McKnight. It looked like he came out of the Blocks a little bit early, the wide receiver. And it's going to be 5-yard mark off.
False start. 21 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You know, it's noisy. Yeah, bottom line, it is very noisy in this ballpark today, and he was the wide receiver all the way over to the opposite side of the field to hear his quarterback.
Now, those guys, they don't need to listen. They just need to look inside, watch the football. That's what they're taught to do, and didn't get it done there.
So now it's going to be 3rd and 10. Sumlin stays with the backfield out of the gun with Hawkins.
And you see the big splits again here offensively.
He wasn't ready for it, and Colorado State comes up with the football. It was snapped early. The recovery for the Rams for Jake Podorf, the weak side backer. First mistake.
Yeah, you're right, Joel. The first mistake in his football game. The first really 3rd down. A tester there for Cody Hawkins and the Colorado offense. And Cody Hawkins trying to call the signals out there. The ball is snapped. Doesn't look like he's ready. Watch his head. See where he's looking at. He's not ready for that football. It actually was a quick snap underneath there.
That was low and away.
Yeah, Daniel Sanders snapped the ball offside there. Off with his left hand and doesn't get it up to him.
So now the Rams are going to start with the ball in field position plus territory and the Buffalo side of the field for the first time inside the 46. They've only had it twice and they've gone the distance both times.
Yeah.
77 yards, 60 yards.
Yeah, very impressive drives both times by Colorado State when they've had the football, and they've managed the game very well. Caleb Haney and Cal Bell reasserted into this offense.
Luke Roberts in there with Johnny Walker, and the timeout is needed now as Colorado State came onto the field and they weren't ready. So we'll do the same. 5.5 minutes gone by in the second quarter, and what a wild beginning to this one. Very similar to what we've seen in the past for Colorado and Colorado State. Don't forget the last 5 games between these two teams decided by only 22 points. It is going to be another close one today. Stay with us in Denver. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 football game of the week on FSN, all brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. By Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. And by Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. So after the first turnover of the contest, we welcome you back to Invesco at Mile High. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones. And a first down for the Rams, looking for the lead once again. 9.5 to play in the first half. Bad snap. Haney out on the edge. He wanted Sperry. Instead, downfield he goes, and he's got his man, but it's dropped. It got away from his tight end Pites, the true freshman out of Crofton, Nebraska, and it was a good throw.
Yeah, no problem there from Caleb Haney on the throw. The ball went inside there to him, and watch Pites here just not pull that ball in. You got to make that grab. He does contact the ground, and the ball pops out, but didn't have firm control of that football.
That's the first miss for Caleb Haney. He is now 8 of 9. As Emily Jones mentioned just a few minutes ago, he started 14 for 14 in last year's game. He's got a thing for the Buffaloes, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Outside of the 45, it'll be 2nd and 10. Little counter action. And full of a back, Gartrell Johnson, the junior from Miami. He started 7 at tailback last year. Bangs his way for about 5. Not quite. The interesting part on the opposite side, can they get the stop? Because I remember talking to Helfrich, Mark Helfrich, the offensive coordinator for Colorado. He said they're going to make mistakes.
Yeah,
there's no question. They're now keeping them up and making sure they don't get down on themselves after the mistakes is going to be a big part of it for Colorado this year.
And that's a maturation process that you have to go through. There's no way other to do it than to make those mistakes and then respond.
And can they get off the field on 3rd downs? It's been 6 of 7 for the Rams. You're looking at 3rd and about 6. And a dead ball foul coming up against the offense.
False start. Number 53 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And this is almost identical to what happened to Colorado on their last offensive series. Pushed it back now to 3rd and almost 11 yards. The same thing Cody Hawkins had to deal with. Caleb Haney's going to have that first 3rd and 10 situation here in the ball game.
And that's the experience up front. We talked about 3 sophomores starting on the offensive line for Colorado State. First career start for the man who lifted up early, the sophomore from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, Cole Pemberton. And he's huge. 6'7", 320. They're going big in this state.
Yeah, they like him well. They think he's going to be one of the best pass blockers they've seen here at Colorado State.
On third, a little more than 10. Haney, quick out. Man, great pocket protection. There's a flag in the middle of the field where sometimes you see defensive holding, but the grab goes over there, and it's a first down for Damon Morton, his first catch of the year. The twins, the Morton brothers, out of Riverside, California.
Yeah, I see the back judge signaling to the referee that it is defensive holding. It is a first down, and going to be very similar at the spots of where these are, but they should probably take the play here and get the automatic first down.
Needed 11, got 12 on the catch. So it will be declined.
Holding on the defense, number 29. That penalty is refused. Result of the play is a first.
So they're trying to capitalize points off a turnover.
Yeah, and a nice completion here by Caleb Haney. You see the slide protection inside, good protection in front, and just zips that ball. He steps up, gets a little footwork going, and nice job getting outside to Morton.
He led the Rams last year in receiving. Punt and kick returns as well. Now Haney going for the bundle. He's got a man. Luke Roberts is there. Do they give it to him, or is he out of bounds?
Wow, what a grab. What a throw.
Out of bounds. Comes all the way back. Just barely out of bounds. Waited for the official. It took a while.
Looking from here, from my vantage point, which is a long way away, it looked like he may have been in, but we'll take a look here. We'll go down the sideline and take a look as Luke Roberts catches this ball from Caleb Haney. Watch on the outside here. Just one step wide there. Good call.
Yes. Very good call. So he would have been shy of the goal line anyway by about a yard. How about the pass by Haney? Is this kid on?
He's sharp today. Very sharp in his throws, accurate with the football, making good decisions, and that's what you'd expect from a senior quarterback.
Now 2nd and 10. Ball inside the 35 of the Buffaloes. We're tied at 14. Pauga in for the first time, but it's Gartrell Johnson. Gets outside. It's about 6, almost 7. Brought down by Bernie, the defensive back on that side of the field.
Gartrell just reads this outside. It's designed to come inside, little draw play, but he sees everything going across the grain, and he just pops it out there. And good one-on-one tackle by Bernie outside on a big fullback.
Yeah, he came through for them last year. He was their workaholic. He had to be because Kyle Bell went down. So rewarded in this opener, despite the fact that Bell has been very successful. Now they're featuring Gartrell Johnson.
And they have to do this. They have to spread out the offense a little bit. They've got to give the defense some different looks, and going 3 wides here on this set.
Here's the blitz. They pick it up. Man, the tight end Sperry, I think he's short. He's got the catch, but he's short by about a yard and a half of the first down. And that's already his 5th grab of the game.
He's definitely a target. It looks like a very athletic tight end. He's got good size, 6'6", 260, and some Caleb Haney can throw to. Definitely just got to get a little bit deeper there on that route. He knows what he needs. Remember, Joe, we saw him look to the sideline, knew where the spot was, and that time he just didn't get enough depth in his route.
Brad Jones pushed him back. The strong side backer got help from Jeff Smart. And they'll go for it. We've already seen him convert a 4th down. You look at their 3rd and 4th down tries, though. How about 8 of 10 already for Colorado State? Haney, and he won't get there. The ball is loose. Are they going to say he's down already? He was. But it doesn't make any difference. Colorado takes over on downs. They tried a quick snap, didn't they?
Tried to get him off guard there. They were in a defensive substitution. They actually got the defensive end on the field late. Good job by Colorado having penetration inside there on that 4th and short rather.
So they did not take advantage of a short field and the turnover. No points off the mistake as we head back downstairs to Emily Jones. Emily.
Well, guys, that Colorado defense is led by defensive tackle George Hippolyte. He actually spent part of his summer working as a marketing intern for the CU athletic department. He said it was tough to sell a team coming off a 2-10 season, and it's caused him to take more ownership of this team because he says now he's personally sold it to some of these season ticket holders here today.
It's all about sales.
Sumler burst up the middle across the 30. Good yardage on first down. They told us that the redshirt freshman out of Cathedral Catholic, the old uni high in San Diego, really pressed Hugh Charles, who you thought it would have been a layup, the starting job. but he battled him step for step.
Yeah, and it made Hugh Charles a better football player in camp. He said the competition said Charles is playing faster, playing harder, playing stronger. And last year they felt like that Hugh Charles didn't have what he needed at the end of ball games last year. Didn't really push forward as much, and with Sumner back there competing for the spot of the job with him, kind of pushed him. And Hugh Charles unfortunately had a hamstring strain in the first quarter in this ball game. We haven't seen him since.
There they go, same play, third time. Patrick Williams, he's not going to get there. He takes a shot from Horinek, a junior from Atwood, Kansas. He started all 12 last year.
You know, when a middle linebacker can get outside and make a hit like this, just watch number 51 kind of scrape along. And Williams got good speed. Watch 5-1 come in here. Bingo. I like that.
You love it. I mean, you're getting worked up here.
Get us a couple of helmets, Joel. We'll go.
I know. You want a piece of me. I know that. Third down and about 3. I'm pretty elusive, though. On third down, they're on the slot man in motion. Hawkins going that way to the motion man. He's got the first down and barely tripped up. They got the tight end, Joe Sanders, the senior from Nashville.
If there's any question mark about Cody Hawkins' arm, it all went away right there, because what he does here with this football is he throws the hardest throw in football. Watch him throw this ball all the way across the field. You're going to see Joe Sanders come out here and work to the flat, but watch him set his feet and throw all the way across the field outside. That is not an easy throw, folks, and well done there by Cody Hawkins.
So the drive is alive at the 42. Inside of 5 left in the first half. What a shock these two are tied. From the fullback, Jagoras in motion. And now Hawkins in trouble. The dump off, it is the fullback. And he barely got rid of it in time, didn't he?
You know, and that's coaching too. He knows that on that play, if he has pressure, immediately automatically dump the football, because the person responsible is not going to be able to make the play. That's how it's coached. It's how he executed. Did a nice job with it. And Cody Hawkins, see him here in this play. Little play fake. He sees the pressure. He knows to dump the football. That's exactly what he's taught to do, and well executed.
So now 2nd and 6 after the gain of 4. Cody Hawkins, 6 of 7, 99 yards.
And again, coming out there, going to be a direct snap.
He's out of the game. It goes right to Sumner. Sumner shoots it up the middle between his center and guard. Not much available that time, though, for their power back. So he's been the exclusive guy now with the injury that you mentioned to Hugh Charles. Charles on his first carry of the game. The one thing that bothered them about Hugh Charles last year, they thought he went out of bounds on plays where he could have gotten an extra 5, maybe 6, 7 yards.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Not finishing plays and not finishing runs, and they wanted him to be more physical as a runner and getting more yardage, and not really having a chance to show that today. But he did have a great camp so far, and Sumner now having to be pressed into work because Hugh Charles not able to compete because of a hamstring strain.
2 of 3 on their third down tries. This is going to be a 3rd and 4 for the Buffaloes. Spread the defense 2 to each side. Beat, and it's deflected. Man got in there and got it up in a hurry. It was Jesse Nading, the defensive end.
Nading is an excellent athlete, playing on the defensive end there for Colorado State, and gets his hand up there and makes a play on the football. And big play here for Colorado State. Going to bring out the punting unit now for Colorado. 2 times now. Young Cody Hawkins turned away.
You know, there's a little smile in your voice all of a sudden now that there's been back-to-back stops defensively.
Well, it's kind of how a game's sometimes supposed to go, Joey. Defense has to win sometimes.
Johnny Walker waiting for the punt. Galalo, the sophomore, hangs out a wobbler. It's a fair catch. Man, back at the 15. Walker takes it in cleanly. So that's where it will start for the Rams when we come back. Plenty of time on the board. We're all tied at 14. And we'll be back again after this word. Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottlers.
I'm Mike Goldberg. Coming up on the Sonic Halftime Report, I'll be joined by DeMarco Farr. Number 3, Florida opens defense of their national championship. Number 5, Michigan at the Big House, and men do they have their hands full. And an emotional day in Blacksburg, Virginia. Plus, as always, it's text time coming up on the Sonic Halftime Report. Back to Joel, Gary, and Emily in Denver. Joel.
All right, Mike, thanks.
I like that purple tie he's got on.
He's ready.
He's ready to go.
Opening Saturday of the season.
Football season.
Yeah, it's exciting for all of us. This is the first of a quadruple header on FSN. A couple of Big 12 games, a couple of Pac-10 games. Sliding off the right side, Kyle Bell barely back to the line of scrimmage. How even is this game? Well, 178 yards for Colorado, and now 178 yards for Colorado State after the gain of 1 for Kyle Bell. And both teams needed balance. They didn't have it last year. They've got real balance so far in this game.
Both offenses are doing well, running the football, throwing the football. The defenses are starting to assert themselves here, so we're having that same kind of a game we would expect when these two play.
Colorado State's got 79 yards on the ground and 98 through the air. They've got to be pleased. Their offensive coordinator, Dan Hammersmith. Now it's going to be second. Man, dead ball. Ball start coming up. Another 5 against Colorado State.
Full start. Number 80 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
You know, the first thing that you asked Sonny Lubick when we were talking on the phone with him earlier this week was, what about going into the Mile High City? He goes, I always felt that the game should be played every year in Denver. He's a real proponent. He wants it here every year.
Yeah, he says it's a great venue, a great opportunity to bring a lot of fans to the game, and you see the color here. You see the two sets of fans that come here. It's definitely a rivalry game, and this is a great place for this football game.
Yeah, this is a classic set. Can't get into it here in Denver. Haney going deep. Man, there's going to be contact on the sideline as he tried to get it. It was wide out Dion Morton on that side. Benjamin Burney rubbing him against the boundary.
Yeah, just pushing him out of bounds. You can't do that as a defensive back. You've got to allow the receiver to get down the field. You have the no contact zone after 5 yards, and he made contact down the field.
That's a big break. You're out of timeouts. You're deep in your own territory, and it's going to be 3rd and 15 if you don't get the flag.
Pass interference. Number 42 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
You know, we talked to Dan Hammersmith about this offense. They said one of the things we want to do is we want to test the defense deep. You know, you want to get one-on-one on the cornerbacks here, which they do, and you see Burney rubbing him out of bounds, but they want to throw the ball deep so it kind of softens up the defense to some degree, and you have to do that, they feel like, sometimes throughout a ball game. And you see it there now, the penalty being marked off. And
for the opening game of the season, we have not had many flags.
No, it's been a pretty clean game, both sides of the ball.
So instead of 3rd and 15 back at the 10, it's a 1st and 10 at the 25. Don't forget, Colorado State has used all their timeouts. Fortunately, every time they pick up a first down, the clock will stop for the movement of the chains. Johnson is the single. Doubled up the wide receivers on the short side of the field. Haney on a design call. Didn't fool anybody at quarterback draw that time, Gary.
Now, this is actually a blitz on the outside here. You bring in a lot of pressure, Colorado is, and quarterback had nowhere to go. Good job there reacting from the defensive side to what Colorado State is trying to do.
Dizon, weak side backer, in on that hit. So timeout has been called. Colorado is going to use it. They want to get the ball back. They still have 1 on the board. And stay with us as we continue from Denver. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, Mike Goldberg and DeMarco Farr with the Sonic halftime report. Number 3, Florida, starting their quest. And what an emotional day it's going to be in Blacksburg, Virginia. Joel Myers, Gary Reese, and Emily Jones back as the sun is shining through once again. Invesco at Mile High in Denver. Colorado State tied at 14. And let's see if using the timeout this early by Dan Hawkins backfires. They've got 1 left. They want to get the football back, but it's still 2nd down coming up.
Now you get Colorado State with a chance to spread things out. They take the use of that timeout. Are they going to press forward and try to move the ball? Colorado obviously trying to play defense here to get the ball back.
Haney in trouble. Boy, what a time for a sack. Now you might want to use that final timeout. The sack all the way back at the 15. Hippolyte, who's been all over the place.
He's just so strong with his hands that he's able to get through the line and just take offensive linemen, knock him out of the way. Watch Hippolyte on the spin around, and he's going to split the 2 defenders. The tackle does not come down around him and goes right to the quarterback. And he did not have a chance.
A little trick up front. So it's back to the 16. Loyola High School in LA gave Colorado George Hippolyte, 2nd team all Big 12er last year. He was 2nd in the squad in tackles for loss. You can see he does not run himself out of the play. It was a little trick up front, though.
Yeah, it's a good little twist there, worked inside, and now Dan Hawkins, the timeout that he used just before 2nd and 10, now pulls it again on 3rd, and looks like almost 20. So good set of downs here for Colorado. If they can stop them here defensively, We'll get the ball back after a punt, perhaps with good field position to potentially put points on the board.
Well, how would you like to start the college football season with a conference game? That's what Jim Harbaugh has in his debut as the Stanford head coach, taking on Carl Durrell and the UCLA Bruins. Number 17 UCLA with a ton of talent. Quarterback Ben Olsen returning. That's the first or second of our quadruple header. North Texas, 8th ranked Oklahoma, and then finally USC and Idaho. What a day. Don't go anywhere. Just hang out, lay back, stay with us all day long.
So you're going back to the hotel to watch the full slate of games?
I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay.
There's good games on today.
There's
now it's for UCLA. These are Carl Durrell's guys. This is he doesn't have anything left over from the previous regime. So now it's Carl's team. Can they build off what they did last year? And they had a good season last year. We saw a couple of the key components coming up in our next matchup between UCLA and Stanford.
And you see the cushion here. The linebackers are back 15 yards. Not allowing anything to happen. They're going to come up and make a tackle. Hopefully here for the Buffaloes, they want to stop them defensively.
And Dizon saved what could have been almost a first down because Bell looked like he had some room.
Well, what they're doing is they're actually inviting the run here. They're inviting Colorado State to run. Look at the linebackers all the way back here. That's 15 yards back, and they're just trying to make sure they don't throw it down there. And they come up, and Dizon makes a shoestring tackle on Bell.
They're going to use as much of the play clock, which just started, so they can take it inside of a minute before they have to punt the football. And they should wait as long as possible. Chris McBride is going to wait. And this is going to be the first punt of the day for Colorado State. So the Rams bring on a guy who punted 5 times last year in this matchup, a 45-yard average. North Glen, Colorado, Jimmy Kaler, and a very good one.
Delayed offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
McBride is going to have some room. He's waiting back inside the 35. Little guy at 5'7". Numbers for Kaler last year. And there was some heat as he got it away. Room for McBride. Gets a couple of blocks. Look out. From the 45, tripped up across the midfield stripe in a short field for Cody Hawkins and the Buffaloes. Good job.
38 seconds to go here now for the offense. McBride does a nice job getting it back across midfield and chance to work a little offensive magic here. And now you're going to see Cody Hawkins operate a no huddle situation.
We're going to start at the Rams 46. So the punter getting into it with Patrick Williams a little bit at the end of the play.
You got to block them all, don't you? He's one of the guys you got to block, right?
It's an 18-yard return after the 45-yard punt. Ellis is the single. Hawkins needs a chip, and he didn't get it. Ellis frustrated with himself because it was his man who was coming off the edge, and he didn't get enough of him.
Got to stop the clock here. Cody's trying to get him up the line of scrimmage so he can stop the clock, throw the ball to the ground.
He will spike it. 18 seconds left, tied at 14. Well, it's up to the running back, Byron Ellis. He knew it.
Yeah, exactly right. Byron Ellis just got the block to the outside. Any pressure from the outside, he's got to wall him out and give Cody a chance to read down the field. Didn't do it that time. And
they're out of timeouts. They're looking at a 3rd and long, 3rd and 16 after the sack with the ball back at their 48. Well, it started out like neither team was going to punt the football today. They both have. Just one punt so far. They've marched up and down the field. We've only had one turnover. And now on 3rd and long. Pocket holds up for Hawkins. Wide open. He's got Williams, and he's got a first down to the 20-yard line. What a breakdown defensively.
Well, this is cover 2, or actually you look at a quarters defense. 2 deep safeties in the corners have to jam and run to the outside. Williams, all he does is go outside, and the cornerback does not even adjust with him. Good recognition by Hawkins and throwing the ball down there. So Colorado's moving the ball. See the safeties in the middle of the field, and he just throws it out there over the cornerback who does not jam him, does not wall him outside, and there's too much room for the safety to cover to the sideline.
A gain of 29 when they needed 16 to keep the drive alive. I remind you, they do not have a timeout on the board. A sack would effectively end the half. That's what Colorado State is hoping for right now. They're bringing pressure and a blitz up the middle. They pick up the blitz, and they overshoot the man. And Scotty McKnight stopped. Hawkins thought he was going to go to the corner, and now they'll try to go to the locker room with the lead with the field goal coming up.
They have an opportunity to put points on there. That's exactly what Dan Hawkins wanted to accomplish here. Chance to put points up before the half, perhaps take the lead, and got the new kicker here post Mason Crosby.
He's been here a while, though. He had a couple of attempts, Kevin Eberhardt. 2 tries back in 2003, missing at Florida State. Eberhardt lost the job to Crosby. Crosby, one of the best in America. The 38-yard attempt is good. His first career field goal gives the Buffaloes the lead into the locker room. There's the second left. That's a big one off his back. You're waiting around long enough behind Mason Crosby.
You're behind one of those guys, you know you may not ever get a chance again, and he gets an opportunity here in a huge rivalry ball game to give his team the lead going in at halftime. And good job that time by Colorado, playing defense, making the most of their timeouts and getting the ball back, and good execution by the offense, moving the ball down the field. A good key throw that time by Cody Hawkins outside to Williams. Gets him enough room to get down there to try that field goal.
He backed up 2-time All-American Mason Crosby, so it's been a while since anyone around here has hit a field goal.
First one not kicked by Mason since '02. Obviously Crosby on to the NFL, drafted by the Green Bay Packers and living out his dream.
Well, Chase McBride, let's not forget about his role in those 3 points with an 18-yard return.
You know, we talked about at the beginning of the show, Joel, about how both these teams have to execute, and I think both teams offensively have executed very well at a high level. In particular, Dan Hawkins. I think Dan Hawkins is very pleased with how his young son has gone out there, and you know, he earned the job. He won the job to be the quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes, and overall things have gone pretty well here for both football teams. Caleb Haney has been pretty much spot on today as well offensively.
Keep it on the ground. He does. Upman will bring it back, and that'll do it for the half. Although the young man bringing the ball back would like to alter our plans, and bringing it back and looking like it's been a while, but he'd like to run it. Zach Bryson with a safety. And what a start for Cody Hawkins in his Big 12 debut, his career start. Now what an opener. 8 for 11 for Hawkins with 134 yards passing and a couple of scores. Let's head downstairs. Join Emily Jones. Emily.
Well, Coach, you've got to be happy with the play of your freshman quarterback, who is also just happens to be your son.
Well, yeah, we gave up an opportunity when we put the ball on the ground. We got to get some stops on defense a little bit and get their punter out there.
I noticed that you tried the corner blitz toward the end of the second half, or the end of the second quarter rather, on Haney. Should we expect more of that in the second?
Well, we got to mix it up, get a little pressure in there at times, and get them off balance.
What are the adjustments that you will make, I guess, offensively and defensively at the half?
Well, offensively, we've been fine. We moved the ball great. You know, we just put the ball on the ground there that one time, and I think defensively, we just got to get pressure.
All right, Coach, best of luck in the second half. Thanks for the time. Once again, Dan Hawkins. Colorado Buffaloes lead this one 17-14 after one half of play. That's going to do it for the first half. Time to send it back to the studio. Mike Goldberg and DeMarco Farr, guys.
Well, Emily, thank you very much. Interesting, when asked about his son, the freshman quarterback, he talked about his offense, not his freshman quarterback.
Yeah, you expect Dad.
Yeah, Dad's pretty proud, and so is Colorado right now. They're proud to have the 3-point lead. Mike Goldberg, DeMarco Farr, welcome inside our studios. Welcome to the Sonic Halftime Report, and we welcome you to text your question all season long, 310-739-7149. Basically, you text us, we answer during the half, all day long during our great day of football, which will be showcased tonight by the #1 team in the nation, USC, looking for 34 straight at home. How about Oklahoma? That game's coming up next. Oklahoma's dangerous, as is UCLA. It's a big day on FSN. Welcome back to the Sonic Halftime Report. Caleb Haney would make Kellen Winslow proud. He knows the tight end is always open, not once but twice for touchdowns, but it's 17-14 Colorado. To the Swamp. Number 3, Florida, Western Kentucky. On the kickoff show, you said, Mike, we'll find out if Tim Tebow can throw. He can.
Yeah, I guess he's not just a running back playing quarterback. He's actually a very good quarterback, probably the best Urban Meyer will have.
And it is all Florida in this first ever meeting of these two teams, 28-0 in the second quarter. This one to Percy Harvin. Gators, the defending national champions, opening defense of their title. Number 5, Michigan, at the Big House against Appalachian State, and oh my goodness.
Old 1AA, you can do it! Big House, who cares? Speed kills! If you can't catch him, you can't beat him. App State pulling the upset.
But wait a second, these aren't the West Virginia Mountaineers, are they?
No, it's the App State Mountaineers. And let me tell you, quarterbacks that can create are dangerous versus anybody.
Last opening season loss 98 to Notre Dame for Michigan. They trail big at the half. Number 9, Virginia Tech, hosting East Carolina. The loved ones lost in the tragedy at Virginia Tech, remembered before the game in a very emotional ceremony. It's difficult to watch this, but what is, I think, inspiring more so than anything else is the healing power of college football.
Absolutely. Look at the fans. For a minute, everything is back to normal. We can get on healing later on.
And they lead by 3 over the Pirates of East Carolina. Number 10, Ohio State at the Horseshoe. Life begins without Troy Smith.
Absolutely. Watch him zip right through the safety in the corner. You can't stop that. Too much zip on that football.
Interesting how Jim Tressel forgot that he was the longtime head coach at Youngstown State, because they are pummeling the Penguins. Yeah. That would be Ohio State football, 21-3 Buckeyes at the break. Number 18, Penn State, Joe Paterno, opening his 42nd year as the coach. That is a record as a head coach. His record is outstanding. It's going to improve after today's game.
Hey, somebody want to cover back there? Hey, when there's a receiver in the end zone, you might want to get a body on him.
Well, first Golden, and now Anthony Morelli to Mickey Schuler.
Now watch this. I love it. Come here, little corner. Take that. Now sit down and let me score and watch me hand it to the referee. Celebrate with my buddies here.
Number 18, Penn State leads 24-0 at the break. But let's go back to the Big House. What is going on with the Michigan Wolverines?
Well, App State is a team that won 2 straight Division I AA championships. This is no easy win. This is not a cupcake. This is a huge opportunity for App State to get some national pub on their program. Hey, look, we're going into the Big House. No one expects anything out of us. We have a quarterback that can create. Michigan's lost a lot of their defense. It's going to be tough for them to come back with that type of quarterback back there.
That could turn out to be the upset of the day.
Absolutely. The decade.
Yeah, the decade indeed. And it's been about a decade, as I mentioned, since Michigan lost on opening day. Don't forget about our Collegiate Film Fest. Log on to myspace.com/College Football Saturday. In 60 seconds or less, show us why you are one of the finest college football fans around. Get ready, it's going to be great. What has been great so far is the college football season starting here on FSN. We're going to have all those teams throughout the year. Today it's Colorado State. Buffs lead 17-14. Booming first half indeed. Text time as promised here on the Sonic Halftime Report. D, you ready?
I'm ready.
Better running back, Hugh Charles or Kyle Bell? Josh wants to know.
I'm going to go with Kyle Bell. He's big, he's strong, he can read holes, he can beat a safety. I like Hugh Charles. A little fragile.
Why were you doing that with your hands?
That's my Kreskin. I like that. Go ahead.
Oh, and how good will Cody Hawkins be? 2 touchdown passes already.
Very, very good. Arm strength got to improve, though. Absolutely.
He has at least tied Joel Platt's record of 0-3 in a debut with a couple of touchdown passes. Second half still ahead from Denver, and it should be a good one. This is our first of 4. This has been the Sonic Halftime Report. Enjoy the second half, everybody.
Halftime continues in the mile-high city of Denver, and a late field goal with a second to go. A 38-yarder, the difference right now with the Buffaloes on top of the Rams, 17-14. Everything we expected. Joel Myers along with Gary Reasons. Emily Jones is going to join us in just a moment. Both quarterbacks are the real story. If you thought Cody Hawkins was going to have butterflies, anxious, nervous, he wasn't.
No, Cody Hawkins played exceptionally well. Got his first start. Got everything going well early in this ball game. Caleb Haney, the senior quarterback for Colorado State, just as impressive. Both of these offenses have executed very well today. That's been the story so far, Joel.
And it's funny how things work, because as we get ready for the Jack in the Box halftime stats, neither had balance last year. Colorado State couldn't run the ball. Colorado couldn't throw the ball, and now in the first half they both have balance.
Well, that's what they wanted to do. They had those things set for themselves as goals. As we take a look at the halftime stats here, time of possession, that's pretty impressive here for Colorado State, maintaining the football as much as they have. But early on, Colorado put points on the board. So overall, both teams, not a lot of turnovers in this ball game, just the one that Colorado dropped on the snap back to Cody Hawkins, but no points resulted in that. But got the big edge there as you come up at halftime, get the 3-point field goal to take the lead for Colorado going into halftime. So now for more, let's go down to Emily Jones, and she's with Colorado State head coach.
Guys, thank you. Coach Lubick, their freshman quarterback, not playing like a freshman. What do you do to get more pressure on him?
Well, we've tried to get a little pressure on him. He's a good player, which we knew coming in. He gets rid of the ball quickly. When we do put some pressure or blitz him, and he gets outside the pocket and gets rid of it quickly. So we just got to keep the run away from them, take them out of their running game, which I think we've done okay. But they got us off balance early, a lot of different formations, a lot of different things. I think we've settled down a little bit. We'll see how we go this third quarter.
All right, Coach, best of luck in the second half. We do appreciate it. Guys, send it back up to you.
Thanks, Emily. And Sonny Lubick alluded to the fact that for first quarter, at least, we saw the misdirection, the gives to the reverse to the wide receivers 3 times in the first half, so different looks there, and the direct snaps a couple of times to Sumner where Cody Hawkins wasn't even on the field.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that Colorado wants to do. They want to set get you off balance defensively, give you things to worry about, so you have to adjust to those things, and that's kind of a typical style of offense that Dan Hawkins has run, especially when he came from Boise. That system was in place there. Joel, they just did not have the ability to put that in completion last year. They had to pull back the offensive playbook because of the quarterback play. They lost some quarterbacks early in the season, had to go with Bernard Jackson, who we haven't even talked about today, who played all season last year for Colorado at the quarterback spot. Really gave them a little bit of hope, but overall he just wasn't their best effort out there. And now we take a look at Cody Hawkins and what he's done today.
Colorado State is going to get the ball to start the second half. The freshman is going to kick it away once again. For the Buffaloes, Tyler Cope, true freshman from Portland. And over to the near side, George Hill's had a couple of nice returns from the 5. Not much of a lane. Good coverage by the Buffaloes as they shut him down shy of the 25, back at the 24.
We've seen good field position for both of these teams after kickoffs and good kick returns, and I think that 30-yard line, kickoff line now is going to play big. When we take a look at the possessions for Colorado State in this ball game, what they've done early on, 2 impressive drives, 77 and 60 yards, and then the defense started to play a little bit for Colorado and forced a couple of situations there over on downs, and then the punting situation, but 4 opportunities to go out there and successful on 2 of them.
Well, they gambled. They tried on 4th down twice. They got it the first time and in fact went into the end zone with it. Second time though, turned it over on downs and gave it back to Colorado at the Buffaloes 26. Bell, who's a real stalwart in the first 15 minutes of play, did not have as many touches in the second 15 minutes of play. Is brought down after a good gain by Brad Jones, and he gets it out for about 7 yards on the carry. Yeah,
and Colorado State going back to what they did well in the first half, and that was run the football. You see the good block there up front. On the nose tackle there, Nicolata, the right guard, coming down and doing a good job knocking a hole on the right side for Kyle Bell to cut back through.
So 18 carries after the last one for Bell, 56 yards. Pauga's his fullback as Bell spins to the first down. Resourceful on that carry, only 4 yards, but enough for the first down out to the 34.
Yeah, if you can run the ball against a defense, it really takes the heart out of a defense to not be able to stop a running game, and Colorado's had some trouble slowing down Colorado State in their running game today, and just showing that this offensive line, they really feel like the couple of guys on the left side, Cole Pemberton 53 and 74, Shelley Smith, they could be the most talented of their offensive line bunch, and they've kind of spread it around to run the ball both ways today.
That's Pemberton over to the left side, number 53 that you talked about. Now on the out, Roberts brought in the play, and it works for Johnny Walker. good open field tackle out on the edge by Daniel Dykes, a strong safety. Otherwise, Walker's going to get plenty more after the catch.
You talk about Cole Pemberton. Watch him on the left side here. He comes down block, and then he kicks out on the outside. When you got good feet like that as a tackle, that's impressive for you that you're able to do it and gives the quarterback a chance to do it. Take a better look at what Pemberton does now. They say he's their best pass blocker. Your left tackle has to be a good pass blocker when you got a right-handed throwing quarterback, and Pemberton does a nice job there.
A gain of close to 8 on the pass completion. It'll be second and a couple. 2 tight ends, single wide receiver, and Bell the only running back for Colorado State. And Bell is going to make a miss to the outside. So showing his elusiveness, it's punched out of bounds though. Wasn't controlled by Colorado on the boundary. It'll still belong to Colorado State back at the point where it was punched out.
Well, that's a good heads-up play that time by Jordan Dizon, 44, coming around, trying to make something happen at the tackle there. You go around with the strip, backside of the ball carrier to knock that ball out, and almost got an opportunity play here for his defense to bring it up. Nobody's going to touch Kyle Bell until he gets to the outside and run around the edge. Or now you see the stripe, try to punch that ball out. Good job of knocking it out, but just edged out of bounds.
Yeah, it's a heads-up play by Dizon. Honorable mention. All Big 12 last year. It's at the 45 though. Couple of first downs on the ground. Bell pounced on early. And only a gain of 1 as they crashed in on the defensive right side. So it's going to be second and long. But they're getting the touches for Bell, and I mentioned it. He had a ton in the first quarter.
Yeah,
they got away from him in the second quarter.
Put the ball in his hands and let him do the work. Offensive line doing a nice job of matching up against Colorado's front. Overall, they've run the ball pretty well today.
Both quarterbacks incredibly efficient for an opener.
Sure.
Caleb Haney in a passing situation, 11 of 13 for 106 yards. Last year is 20 of 23. Little waggle action. He wanted the tight end, but the tight end got out late. Corey Sperry. Then looked down. Sprague was covered.
On the senior
and
quarterback.
Megan Roberts, rather.
Yeah, you see what he does on the outside. He kind of pump fakes, pump fakes, pump fakes. Doesn't allow the defense to just commit to come get him because they still think he's going to throw. The tight end is covered real well, and Sperry realizes, hey, I don't need to be a blocker now. So turn into be a blocker and get your guy out of bounds. Caleb Haney smartly turns it up the field and gets positive yardage, brings up a third and manageable situation here.
Third and a little less than 3. Colorado State starting the drive back at their own 24. They've had 18 more offensive plays in this game, yet they trail by 3. Can they keep the drive alive? Good pocket protection. And he's got a wide open Sperry again. The tight end gets in for the lead. Touchdown, Colorado State. His third score of this contest.
Well, early in the first half, we saw him get on Brad Jones, the linebacker, on the goal line area and got to the back of the end zone and got a touchdown catch. And now he gets behind him in coverage here. It's man-to-man coverage, and he just takes him for a ride. Good job by a big tight end there. He's 6'6", 260 pounds, and pretty good load there. Nice effort on the day. 6 catches so far and 3 touchdowns.
What a start to his season. A senior from Pueblo, Colorado. Smith for the point after. And it is a 4-point lead for Colorado State. Right now, Corey Sperry coming through with Caleb Haney. That was good for 37 yards. 3 minutes gone by in the third. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 football game of the week on FSN. All brought to you by Sport Clips, where guys win. Also by Valero, the energy to take you anywhere. And by Whataburger, just like you like it. Well, let us start the second half. Very similar to what we saw at the outset of the contest. We're in the Mile High City of Denver. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones. 3 minutes gone by. And a lead now for the Rams. 21-17. Impressive drive, pounding it. And Gary, you talked about the mentality of Colorado State in their series, and it started way back in the 1890s. They're the underdog, period.
Yeah, always the underdog here in this series, and they kind of feel like that. You know, they've always been overlooked a little bit by CU, and Colorado always kind of been the big brother here. And got a chip on their shoulder in this game. A lot of the players, well, it's tipped.
It's one of the up men. Colorado State alertly on top of the football. Don't know if it was by design, but it worked out well.
I think it was by design. And you try to do those kinds of kicks.
Coming up with it Jermaine Walters with a defensive back.
He kicks it automatically here. I think this is a design kick. He kicks it right at the middle guy, which we call the center on the kick return team. Kicks it right at him and goes off. And all these guys are looking for the football. And see a better look at it here from the high end zone. This guy's who they're trying to kick the ball off of right there. And bingo, gets him right on the back shoulder. And you see the ball bounce back in a great recovery for Colorado State. They made a big emphasis every practice that any ball that's on the ground, they're going to pick it up. They want to get ball security. They want to get turnovers and takeaways, things they didn't do last year. And that's a huge play in the kick game, and they get the ball back for their offense.
So Jason Smith playing pinball. And a wicked shot. Sets it all up at the 47 for the Rams. Bell out of the backfield, dies on. Read it perfectly. So a gain of 5, but it looked like it could have been more.
The play action there in midfield. Most teams try to take a strike, and that's what they were looking here downfield. Everyone was covered, and so they have to come downhill to the outlet pass, and that's not a bad person to throw it to who's had a good day today running the football. Kyle Bell.
And if they get in the red zone, do me a favor, account for Corey Sperry. Their tight end who's already got 3 touchdowns. So they're hitting him real early in the second half. Bell nowhere to go. Still goes low. And a good effort to get it down to the 40 when it looked like it was going to be no gain. He got a couple. But that's what he brings to the package. Tenacious kid at 6'2", 230. Tough customer. And the respect of his teammates is what Sonny Lubick told us is the most important part.
Yeah, when he had to rehab that knee, not only did he rehab that knee for his entire offseason, but he got stronger upper body, got stronger all the way around, and it's made him a better football player. They feel like he's a better athlete right now than he was 2 years ago.
Well, can they convert on 3rd down? So far, 8 of 11. Bell, stutter step, a stop and a start again, and he's got it. Going sideways for a little crease down to the 35. So he doesn't beat you with his speed. He beats you with his smarts.
Yeah, he beats you with his smarts, and we talked to him about rehabbing that knee.
It's been quite a long road, you know, for me to come back and just kind of the whole process of rehab and working to get back to that player that you were. So it's something that's really made me realize how strong you can be as an athlete and as a person, and just to get back and keep that confidence and faith in yourself as well as the others around you. It's been a learning experience, and I really think heading into this year, it's going to be something that, looking back, I can kind of use to my advantage, just the whole learning process.
Sperry, middle of the field, big grab. Caught by Walters, but he hangs on. 1st and 10 inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line as we listen to Kyle Bell.
Well, how about that 1-2 punch? Kyle Bell and Corey Sperry. What Corey Sperry's done today, 3 touchdown catches. Watch this. He goes down the middle, goes to the seam, and that's what's going to happen a lot of times when a tight end goes to the middle of the field. One of those safeties, and that's Walters unloading on him, but he catches that football nonetheless. And another good job by Caleb Haney finding the open receiver.
By the way, Kyle Bell's up to 81 yards on 23 carries, while that grab by Sperry was his 6th for 70 yards. Bell, big hole, he's gone. Touchdown, Colorado State.
Nice job of converting on a turnover. You kick the ball off the center in the kick game, and now you get a run by your tailback. He breaks through the defense of the Colorado Buffaloes, and nobody there to stop him. And very impressive effort here by Colorado State coming out here in the 3rd quarter.
Smith with the extra point. He started it all, don't forget. Hammering it off that up man. Jermaine Walters alertly pounced on it. And they get points off a turnover on a short field of only 47 yards. Bell, his first since coming back after a year off, and the Rams lead by 11. Biggest lead of the day, Colorado State up by 11, 28-17, almost 5 minutes. Has evaporated quickly here in the 3rd. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones. We were here at the walkthrough yesterday at the stadium, and Gary, we both looked at these kids getting off the bus, and we wanted to talk to Sonny Lubick and the staff, and they all looked pretty athletic. We looked at them, and boy, they didn't have any real guys that were waddling in.
No, this was a great-looking bunch of guys, and I tell you, athletic very much so. And Corey Sperry, he was the best of the bunch. I tell you, when I saw walk by him, 6'6", and a specimen of an athlete that he is, Sonny Lubick in this program is doing a great job with their strength and conditioning program, and it's showing here today.
It's Wheatley bringing it back from outside of the 11. On the squib kick, look out, there goes Terrence Wheatley. Do they have an angle on him? Can they get to him? Slow him down from behind. Colorado gets the boost they needed.
Well, again, they try the squib kick up the middle, and Terrence Wheatley ready for it this time. He comes up and gets the football. Makes a huge return to his second of the game today in the kick return game. Wheatley doing a good job getting the ball back and kind of separate here right up the middle, and then he finds it goes to the outside, and good job of getting it down there. You think he's going to go all the way, but good effort of legging him out and good angle. Watch this pursuit. This angle right there goes right to the sideline. At least slows him up, and the kicker makes the tackle.
So the big play by Wheatley sets it up at the Rams 21. The third time they have started on this side of the 50 in this contest. Yet they're down by 11. Scotty McKnight, the motion man. Sumler straight up the gut. Maybe 2, 2.5, 3 at the most.
We're talking about this rivalry, Joel, and a lot of Colorado State guys, they call them the farm boys. You know, that's kind of the motto that they have sometimes. And Sonny Lubick saying, hey, we're always the underdogs, and they actually play in this game like they got a little chip on their shoulder because a lot of these guys were not even recruited by Colorado. So
didn't get a sniff, did they?
No, they didn't. So now this is a chance for them in state to play against their biggest rival. Boy, they're having a nice day today.
As we mentioned, in the 7 previous matchups in Denver, Sonny Lubick has taken 4 of the 7 from Colorado. Now on 2nd and 7. Movement up front. And it's going to be a false start.
False start. Number 72 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Let's head down. Join Emily Jones. Emily.
Well, guys, you were talking about the blue-collar mentality of Sonny Lubick's team, and in talking with Dan Hawkins this week, he said he can identify more with that mentality than any other, and it's one that he's trying to bring to Colorado. The lunch pail, blue-collar, tough guy mentality. Seems to be he's getting there.
Well, at Boise, they were always the underdogs, and he was used to that role, and now he's trying to instill that same type of confidence and playing capability within this group here at Colorado.
Now 2nd and long after the mark-off. Hawkins gets the blocks he needed, but then it was deflected at the line. He wanted Williams downfield, but the pressure as he's turned, looked one way and went back the other. They timed it.
Now they're going right into the end zone here where all of the Colorado State fans are there. The band is there. They're playing. They're loud. You got the fans out there. There's caused a 2nd down penalty there. Now you see the pressure in here. Good job. Good job of rushing the quarterback. Heranek doing a good job of getting through there, going through the blocker and getting physical on the play.
That's his 2nd big play of the contest. Huge 3rd down coming up for the Buffaloes. Got to get points out of it. The Rams fans celebrating. And what an atmosphere at Mile High today. 3rd and almost 13. Out of the gun. Here comes the heat. And it's deflected again. Tipped again on Cody Hawkins. He is not a big guy. He's not even 6 feet, barely 6 feet.
That's kind of the knock on some of the shorter quarterbacks, but that was actually 2 yards down the field. I'm not sure that ball would have been deflected line of scrimmage, but good job of reacting back there. I didn't see who got his hand on it, but
looked like Blaine Smith, the senior from Tulsa.
Another field goal attempt here by the Buffaloes. Good job defensively by Colorado State.
41-yard attempt for Eberhard. Can he bend it in? No, he left it out. Couldn't draw it in. So they waste that big return by Terrence Wheatley. Momentum still belongs to those guys you were calling Aggies earlier. The guys from Fort Collins. They're celebrating. A lot of time left. 8:48 left in the 3rd. 11-point lead for the Rams. Be back after this word from Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottlers.
Welcome back to Invesco Field at Mile High. It is 28-17 in favor of Colorado State in the 3rd quarter. We are in the stands and joined now by Misty Hawkins, mother of Cody and wife of Dan. How nerve-wracking, or is it for you?
Well, I'm just excited for the offense to get back on the field.
What's this process been like, having Cody go and play for your husband?
It's been just like it was all of our lives. Cody playing football, Dan coaching football, Drew playing football. It's just that now I'm not split between 2 games on Saturday, which is great for me.
I heard a story that you signed 2 letters of intent for Cody on signing day. One to Boise State and one to Colorado. And Dan did not find out that he was coming to Colorado until the facts came through. Is that true?
That's true.
And when did you find out?
When he signed it.
And then I guess, too, you had to be relieved at least to get the first half over with, and he had a great one in the first.
Yeah, but I want to get him out here on the field again, like I said. They got a job to finish.
All right. Misty Hawkins says that the Buffs have a job to finish it. We'll see if they can get it done here in the second half, guys.
All right, Wheatley and Nicholas on those first 2 snaps trying to get them back on the field. I like what she said, though. I don't have to worry about 2 games on Saturday anymore. Because any of us that have had kids running around and keeping up with them, and not obviously at this level.
That's a true football fan there. I tell you, all the change that she goes through from a coach's wife, coming from Boise down to Colorado, and all the things that they've had to endure. And what are the discussions like over the dinner table? Interesting for that family.
In detail. Now, halfway through the third, little tight end screen for Sperry. Will he get to the first down marker? Boy, he wasn't denied by much, was he?
I tell you, he's tough. Big tight end, little delay there to him, and he's just making yards after the catch there. And
so the Buffs are going to get it back. She was anxious to get the offense and her son back out there, 3 and out. And that's one of the few times today. In fact, only the second time today that they've gone 3 and out with a punt.
Yeah, the other time they were stopped was 4 downs. They turned it over on downs, but now a second time to do so. And punt returner back here as well.
Back deep, it's going to be Chase McBride. His only try brought it back 18 yards. Sperry, by the way, over 100 yards in receiving. Good punt. And it's going to be McBride. Going to get away from the first? No. Beautiful open field coverage play. For Colorado State down there, Joey Rux, the cornerback.
Excellent coverage that time. When you go down the field, you can kick it that far and get that kind of coverage on it. Excellent job by Colorado State of what you call flipping the field. Now Colorado having to go the full length of the field here on their 14-yard line.
And it also helps to have Jimmy Kaler, one of the better punters in the nation. A guy that's about 45 yards per punt anyways.
2 seasons ago was the all-conference punter in the Mountain West.
Now it's back at the 14. The Buffaloes didn't get points after they had it. And the Rams 21 to start their last drive. Long field this time. They've tried this a few times. This is the 4th time today, and Robinson is met on the edge, and he is slammed on the edge by Judes. Also over there, Darrell Williams. So the senior from Stanton, California, his 3rd year as a starter.
Jesse Nading, the right defensive end that time, does a nice job of playing off the block and really forcing the wide play here. Watch him get up here and go on the outside and use his hands, and good athlete. This guy was an all-state performer in 3 sports in high school. Just imagine that. He's playing defensive end here. Got a lot of tools to work with, and that's a nice athletic play.
There's all-state basketball, football, and baseball. That good. Over the middle, it's available. Too tall. And almost picked off as they went for Celestine, a true freshman.
Well, Clint Kubiak doesn't get the football there. He has a chance.
And this is a young man who's come all the way back from surgery. Clint Kubiak, we haven't talked about. First down marker, all brought to you by Overstock.com. He had surgery where they went in for one thing, and then they had to clean up another thing on his hip. And that was in May. And talk about an inspiration for his teammates. He just went back onto the practice field about 10 days ago full time.
Yeah, just a rehab to get back from that kind of an injury. It's a testament to what kind of effort he's put in.
Now from the 16, it'll be 3rd and 8, almost 9. Run the H-back in motion. Hawkins looking in that direction. Will they get to the marker? Right at it. He got a good spot. He should have the first down.
I think the spot's going to be generous enough to get him that first down.
And what a debut for Scotty McKnight with a touchdown catch in the first half. Walk-on.
Well, they say he's an excellent route runner. He's got good hands. You can see that, and he's making some catches today. That's a big first down, because when you're inside your 15-yard line with your offense having to perform, you need players to step up and make plays, and Cody Hawkins throws a good football to him, and he answers.
So that is the 4th grab, 75 yards for the walk-on Scotty McKnight. Good golf down in Coto de Casa, California. And from the 25, a first down for the Buffaloes. And they needed it. Gear the motion man, the tight end. Go the other way, open field. Big time play off the edge. The defensive back, Joey Rux, who is down there on specials. He made the solo stop on the punt. A kid out of Dorsey High School in Los Angeles.
Now, Byron Ellis did not have a chance on this. A little delay to the outside. You see the screen guys coming out there, and big tackle can't get out there, have a chance to get him. Edwin Harrison just a little too slow, and excellent job of coming up, forcing the action that time.
Side of 5 left in the third. And Colorado State starting to pick it up on both sides of the line. Got plenty of experience on the offensive side. Now some of their veterans on defense are stepping up. Sumler comes out at the wide receiver spot and sets up on the wide side of the field. They'll go underneath, and what a read on that side. Beautiful tag by Darrell Williams. He saw it coming. He didn't bite on Sumler.
Well, we just talked about Joey Rux, and he plays the cornerback on the other side, and Darrell Williams on this side. The pair of them, they feel like they've got about as good a tandem of cornerbacks in the Mountain West Conference. And watch this reaction here. He knows the ball's coming out there, makes a good sure tackle, and does a little business there at the end, too, rolling him up there. It's a pretty physical play there.
Yeah, the redshirt freshman quarterback didn't look off at all. And he left Sumler very early. He knew where the ball was going. So his responsibility with Sumler was over. He matched up with Sumler on the edge. Now 3rd and 10. Show the blitz up the middle. Will the extra backer come? Yes. Hawkins with a good dart. Williams has it. Nice throw by Cody Hawkins. Little stop route and a first down, a gain of 11.
Credit the offensive line that time, Joel, because they gave him enough time. He was able to step up into the pocket. They brought 5 people on the rush that time against Colorado's offensive front here, and the offense gave him enough time to perform. You see the play action. Watch Cody step up right there inside and get a nice throw to Williams, who does a little curl route inside just past the marker.
So from the 36, it continues with 3.5 to play in the third. Overall, very good numbers for Cody Hawkins in his debut. Now to the wide side of the field, and his wide receiver wanted to run before he had it. Dusty Sprague, the senior from Holyoke. And he had isolation. He had one man behind him.
That's our first really drop we've seen today by any of these receivers in this ball game. They've all been sure-handed for both teams, and Dusty Sprague not able to come up with that one. Well, still a good delivery that time by Hawkins, throwing to the right receiver, the guy who's open.
And they couldn't find the receivers last year. They couldn't get it out. They didn't have a guy who could throw it downfield. Sprague, 2 years ago when Joel Klatt was there, had 43 grabs. Last year, only 11. It dropped off considerably for all their wideouts. 2nd and 10. On the low one, it's Sumler on the direct snap. And they're getting better now, recognizing when it's going back to the tailback.
Well, I'm not sure that's being very effective for Colorado, because the defense for Colorado State, when Cody Hawkins lines up a wide receiver, it's almost like they're disregarding him entirely. And they know it's going to be a running play. So you, as a linebacker, you step up a little bit more and you can be more aware of the run, and you don't have to worry about the passing game to get back in coverage. So you kind of focus on the run, and they did a pretty good job there, holding to just a couple of yards.
McKnight to the wide side. Victor Gray, the tight end, the slide on the same side. And now big 3rd down. He's down by 11. Time running down to the 3rd. Press coverage on the outside. Hawkins wanted to go to the near side. His man comes back for him. Williams. He worked Williams downfield, and that's Darrell Williams against Patrick Williams. They really did a good job to create space.
You saw the graphic there, 5 of 8 on 3rd downs, now 6 of 9. 66% in this game for Cody Hawkins and the Colorado Buffaloes completions. And you're going to see Williams come down, and he's just going to work to the outside and continue to work and then come back to the football. Watch him work back. He knows where the first down marker is. Gets that football from Cody Hawkins and a nice delivery.
So the drive that started at their own 14.
Got Patrick Williams from DeSoto, Texas, a junior, and a good target out there and having a nice day today.
Cody Hawkins now 3 of 3 on 3rd down tries on this drive alone on the deep play fake. Got to get rid of it. He did in time, and it's Scott McKnight for a first down to the 30. He had a man in his grill. He knew he had to get rid of it.
Well, McKnight grabs him another one. Joel, he's had a nice day also. 5 catches on the day here, and play action pass holds the linebackers just a little bit. This good timing here. He knows he's going to get hit there from the defensive end coming in, and gets that ball out there on timing nonetheless. Good route by McKnight, stopping there and thrown underneath the coverage.
First down, Colorado. Ball at the 30 of Colorado State. They'll give it to Sumner. Huge hole up the middle. angling and barely tripped up by the safety. Galusha, the sophomore from Omaha. That time they showed Williams with that little counteraction from the wide receiver and didn't give it to him.
Yeah, they did a little G block inside. What I mean by that is they're going to bring the guard around and he's going to block down, and bingo, run right behind him. And then see that block right there on the linebacker? Good job by him reading the block, and watch the come around block here and get the linebacker. Bingo, right there. Good execution. They set it up right, Joel. They do it a couple times, the speed sweep, and then don't look inside, and then you hit the little trap inside.
Cantrell's in there in the backfield. They'll toss it over to the near side and bouncing outside. It is Cantrell all the way inside the 10. And check that. It's actually Moyd with his first run, the sophomore from Miramar, Florida. He was backing with Cantrell. One way, Cantrell, Moyd the other way.
Fake it again the other way. They'll get the defense going one way, counter it back the other way to Kevin Moyd, and does a nice job going outside. He's got one blocker, Sprague, in front of him, and gets the ball to the 7-yard line, and another first, well, almost a first down. They got a yard to go still.
It is second and less than a yard. Well, they've had some critical third downs to convert, and Hawkins has come through, and now he's got a first and goal inside the 5, and that was a quickie. That was almost like a silent count the way he took it.
Exactly what it was. Go up there, goose the center, and get that ball in your hands and move forward. Get that first down, most important. You haven't heard that goose the center?
I've heard it. I've heard it. I still like it. You're a sick puppy. So from the middle linebacker like reasons. A goose up here and a first and goal for Colorado. If they ever needed the momentum belonged completely to Colorado State. But the Buffalo's defense set it all up with a 3 and out and a punt. Now first and goal. Up the middle, banging his way there. Yes, touchdown. Demetrius Sumler.
Well, you flip the field on the punt here, and it goes all the way inside the 15-yard line, and great coverage by Colorado State, but the Buffaloes march all the way down the field. 3 third-down conversions key on this drive by Cody Hawkins, and you get pay dirt there for Mr. Sumler. You're going to get a touchdown on the board.
So Sumler with his first career score. Young man from San Diego, and what a future he has.
Looks like Buffaloes are going for 2 points here on the try.
It's early at 28-23. Byron Ellis stays in the backfield. Hawkins looks over to the flat. His tight end's there. Gears got it. Gets the 2-point conversion. What a gamble.
Well, what it does, Joel, brings within a field goal here now of Colorado State with that 2 points, brings it to 28-25, and nice throw to the outside. That's a difficult throw by Cody Hawkins, and he makes the most of it here. We see the touchdown first and the run inside by Sumler. This sets up a 2-point conversion, which the Buffaloes execute to perfection and throw the ball outside. Watch your tight end get out there and throw it out there to him. Nice job here by Colorado coming down the field, getting 8 points on that drive.
And that is Gears' first grab of the season. Man, he was their leading receiver last year. First tight end to ever lead them in receiving. That tells you that they couldn't get the ball downfield to the wide receivers. So the 2-point conversion makes it a 3-point deficit for the Buffaloes. What a shock. We have a 3-point game between Colorado State and Colorado.
Now, Emily told us before early in the game that this is a close matchup between these games. The last 5 games by how many points? 20, 22? Is that what it was?
22 exactly.
So nothing shocking or surprising here that these are going to be close games when these two get together, especially here in Mile High.
Hill and Deion Morton wait for the Tyler Cope kick. What a day at Mile High. 34 seconds left. And what a fourth quarter it sets up for. It'll be George Hill from the 1. Lane over to the left. And good open field play because it looked like he was going to get the block over to that side. But Gardner McKay was there. So the defensive back. So the Rams deep in their own territory. A long field ahead of them, leading by 3. Now, can they restart the offense that just went 3 and out with a punt and really wasn't a factor on any of the 3 plays?
No, couldn't get anything going on the last drive, and Colorado's defense stiffened for sure on that series, and they got the ball back after a long punt and good coverage. But nonetheless, Colorado took it right down the field, and can the Buffs defense do it one more time?
Yeah, let's see if the momentum continues to be with Colorado. Bell back to what they were doing well early, but he's torpedoed on the play. And underneath, the tackle was over there by Jordan Dizon.
Good job by Dizon coming backside that time, and knowing Kyle Bell likes to cut the ball back in the offense, and just a lead play there, and good job of tackling him low. Jordan Dizon is a tackling machine. He's had a great career at Colorado, and one of those guys that just kind of a leader out there, one of the captains on this team, and good football player. He's fast, he's physical.
But it was a three-point lead, Gary, at the half. It belonged to the Buffalo. It's still a 3-point lead, but now it belongs to the Rams. It should be a great fourth and final 15 minutes of regulation. Stay with us at Mile High. We are ready now for the final 15 minutes of the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, Emily Jones, and our game summary through 3. How about 600 plus?
Wow, that's a lot of offense here in this football game. And both these quarterbacks, Cody Hawkins and Caleb Haney, pretty efficient on the day. A couple of tosses for Cody and 3 for Caleb. So both quarterbacks playing well.
Little waggle action. And Haney can't get away. An arm drag and a toss. Maurice Lucas, the left end, wouldn't let go. The junior from Denver.
Well, Big Mo does a nice job on the outside that time, and they say he's improving every day. Watch up here as he comes to the outside. He holds his own, and then he goes out there to Caleb Haney and gets him around the jersey, pulls his sleeve, and gets him to the ground.
Boy, Mo has certainly shifted, hasn't it? Yeah, 28-17, so much working in the favor of Colorado State. They got the ball back, and they went 3 quickies and an out with a punt. Now, it's going to be back-to-back 3 and outs with a punt for only the second time today. 3rd and a long 15, almost 16.
Look at the depth of the linebackers here. Going to break up on the play.
Haney with trips on the wide side over the middle. What a throw. Johnny Walker. It looked like it was going to be deflected away. Did he drop it in perfectly?
Wow, that was a great throw, and I tell you, surprising that the linebackers weren't at the depth of the first down here, able to make this play. Goes right over the top of Brad Jones, who's had trouble today against the tight end. We've seen that before. Just going to be thrown right back here over his head. Needs to get a little more depth. He's got to read the receivers coming through his zone. Not a very good job by Jones at all.
It was almost like he missed time, like he was on his way down as the ball was sailing over.
Caleb Haney threads it in there nonetheless, and that's a huge first down here for Colorado State. They've been kind of on their heels the last couple of series.
3-point lead for the Rams, have it at their own 43. Looking to go deep, it's Corey Sperry, and only time he couldn't come up with it today, and he was wide open as he got away from the defensive back and then took a shot from the safety Walters at the end of the play.
Yeah, it looked like Sperry was running when he wasn't really confident that the ball was going to come his way. It kind of looks like that he's just kind of going down the field and didn't expect this football. I thought he kind of slowed up a little bit. He does right there, and the ball goes right through his hands, though. Nonetheless, great throw by Haney, and he's made some good catches today. Surprised he didn't get that one.
He's already got 8 grabs for 103 yards. He paid for it, as you can tell, at the end with that pop. Now 2nd and 10 from the 43. Haney with a miss, 16 of 19. Only the 3rd incompletion for him for 203 yards. Bell just plows it up the middle for a couple. It'll be 3rd and 8 from the 45. Interesting play call. Brought down by Jason Brace.
Well, I talked about it earlier. You got to be committed to the running game, and that's what they are. And in a situation like this, Joel, it's all right to go ahead and punt the ball if you don't do anything and to get it on 3rd here. Force Colorado to go the long field again if they field the punt cleanly, and just a decision making you have to be committed to your running game and be able to throw when you want to.
He doubles up Dion Morton. Luke Roberts over to the wide side of the field. There's big play guy walking to the opposite side. Looking one way, now in trouble. He's got to get rid of it, and he does. Luke Roberts maybe a yard shy at the 47.
About a half yard.
Yep, just outside of the 47.
Now that ball needs to get almost to the 47-yard line, and see the marker there. Good route, good job here getting the football and trying to turn up to get that first down.
The poise of Caleb Haney too.
What a nice firm tackle there from the safety.
Quarterback hung tough again.
Caleb Haney had to do a little dancing that time, and they're gonna measure this as they bring the chains out.
It looks like it's about a foot shy, maybe a little bit more. So far, 10 of 14 on third downs, 1 of 2 on fourth downs. This would be a fourth down.
If it's fourth down, it's a little bit short. What do you do here, Joel? Do you go?
Yeah, I go.
I go. I think you definitely go. Colorado State should leave their offense out here, not necessarily punt the football.
And I don't give it up. I have Haney do it.
Oh, and sometimes this is a call that a head coach has to make, and Sonny Lubick is making this, and that put the confidence in your team that you can make tough yards when needed, and that's what they're going to do. They're putting their jumbo package in here. They're going to get their 3 or 4 tight ends in a football game and run downhill and get that first down.
Starting to remind me of the 2004 game that we had on FSN, and one of the great games we've seen on FSN in recent years where Mason Crosby won it by 3 at the end of the game for Colorado. They come to the feet of Mile High. Need a foot. Does Haney sneak it? No. It's Bell, and he doesn't get it. The Buffs stand. They get it done, and they get it back almost to the midfield stripe.
Great penetration by the defensive front, and also great surge by the linebackers coming up and stopping Kyle Bell, who's had a very productive day running the football for Colorado State. Just the eye play downhill. Watch the linebackers. Jordan Dizon is the one who makes this tackle right in the hole on Kyle Bell. Excellent job by the defense of stopping Colorado State there on 4th and short. They
lost a couple of yards on the play, so the Buffaloes now get it their own 49, trailing by just 3. So Eberhard is 1 for 2. You're talking about the field goal kicker.
Senior linebacker stepping up and making a play there, Joel.
You loved it.
I loved it. That's what you need to do as a linebacker and be a leader out there and make key plays for your football team in critical times of the game.
And Dizon was a guy, despite a 2-10 record, that showed up. Look out, little gadget play going for Patrick Williams, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Pagnotta. So a little flea flicker action didn't fool anybody.
Well, Colorado trying to take advantage of the momentum that they got on the 4th down stop. Going for it here. It's a typical play by a lot of teams in this area of the field. But this ball comes out of Cody Hawkins' hand not very well. I think he doesn't have a full grip on this thing. Kind of slipped. You see the ball kind of fluttering there and didn't have a lot underneath it. Good job of recognition in the secondary by Colorado State. Get the interception there on that throw. Good job of going to the football by Pagnotta.
The guy that the coaching staff told us a leader on their defensive unit. So he's got it at the 26 for the Rams. 2 minutes gone. Here in the 4th. Bell bending it out. A short gain, maybe 2 at the most for Kyle Bell. And he will sleep well tonight. He has just pounded the football. That's his 30th carry of the game. Close to 100 yards, 96. First down marker, all brought to you by Overstock.com. What a great game we've been able to watch today.
Yeah, it's been fun. Both offenses have been productive. The defenses have played well at times in this football game. And the third down efficiency by both of these football teams has been very impressive.
It's always emotional when these 2 teams get together. It means so much as they're only separated by 45 miles. Counter action. Bell breaks the ankle tackle, spins, and is close. He's right at the first down marker to the 36.
What do you see about Kyle Bell whenever he has the football in his hands? He's always going north and south. He's getting extra yards after contact. And, you know, you'd never know that he went through a complete reconstruction of his knee before last season the way he's playing today. He has come back with a lot of vigor.
The Rams have experienced this before. Don't forget they've had another very successful back lose a year because of a radical knee surgery and come back and be very successful. Cecil Sapp. So it's not that long ago. Sapp came back and was very productive for him, just like Kyle Bell now.
There's always a lot of uncertainty, though, with a lot of players when they come back to that first ball game after that type of an injury and whether or not they're going to be able to hold up. We talked about his endurance in training camp and how he was sore, but he played very well. And it looks like they get the first down there with the extra effort that Kyle Bell put forth. And he just made, you know, he made a lot of his teammates better by his efforts in the offseason, progressing himself physically, his upper body. Overall, his strength has improved, and Kyle Bell's been the workhorse today for the Rams.
Well, the Rams can hang on. And I mean hang on to the football now. They've already had it almost 12 more minutes.
Yeah, they didn't have a 100-yard rusher last year. They've got one now this season in their first game with Kyle Bell, and that's the spunk that they had from him 2 years ago when he was a sophomore.
Well, hanging onto the football time-wise has been big for them, even though it doesn't show on the scoreboard too much. And now in the little turn-in route, it's complete to Johnny Walker. He's got a first down again across the 46, and I bring that up because if they can put together a 5 or 6 minute drive, and you look at the clock now, and maybe take it down to 6 minutes left of the game, get into the end zone, this drive could be the determining factor of the game.
I think you may be onto something there, Joel, because if they can take a lot of time off the clock and not leave a lot of time for a young redshirt freshman quarterback to operate the CU offense, and Cody Hawkins, an inexperienced guy out there in this type of a situation and big of an environment as this, it may be difficult to come back, and if they can get up a touchdown here, that'd be 10 points, and that'd be 2 scores that Colorado would have to surmount somehow in this ball game.
Johnson on a play fake, instead wide open, Sperry, and it's just behind him. Ball was already gone when he turned around, and it was slightly behind him as Daniel Dykes came over, and Caleb Haney had to leave it and get rid of it early.
Well, I think that Corey Sperry is actually a little bit out of gas. He's been worked so hard today, and he's out open here, and he just needs to get his head around for the football, and he could have adjusted on that ball, on that throw, if he'd have seen the route a little bit, seen the ball a little bit earlier. And not a hard one to adjust on, but he just had turned inside, and I think he's a little weary out there. He's been running so much up and down this field and making a lot of plays, and terrific looking athlete though.
Yeah, he's exceptional, and he's got 8 grabs for over 100 yards, but I think you hit it right there. He's gassed, and so is Haney this time. They stack it up and set it up for Maurice Lucas, who gets the sack. The pressure really came from the opposite side though. So the sack is for Lucas, but the other guys did the work on the opposite side.
And that's what you got to do, bring pressure from both sides and get in there. And they haven't had a lot of pressure on Caleb Haney today. You see the pressure inside, and then Walters from the outside. The safety's the extra rusher in the package there. They don't have enough people to account for him. You see Walters run here from the outside, and he's going to get around the edge, put the pressure on the quarterback, but it had already been done inside by Hippolyte and company.
So 3rd and long, and one of the longest 3rd down tries of the game for Caleb Haney. 4 minutes and moving.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a run here.
Set it up and look to go deep, and they will. He's got his receiver, and it's over his head. And that was George Hill. We've seen him on returns. One of the few times they put him out in a pattern. And he was slowed up a little bit. They thought there was contact, and that's why you saw that reaction from Caleb Haney.
Yeah, right about the 40-yard line. They kind of clicked heels there, clicked feet together, and kind of slowed him up. That ball a little bit out of the reach of the quarterback, of the receiver, and not able to pull that football in, overthrown.
So that window of opportunity still there with a lot of time left for Colorado, trailing by just 3. McBride waits for the punt. Jimmy Kidder. He's had a couple of beauties today. Almost no wind whatsoever. A very high short one this time.
Off the side of his foot.
Yeah, I put the whammy on that one. Outside of the 30. I think they're going to put it in the neighborhood of the 35, 36-yard line. No, they put it right at the 31-32. A break for Colorado State. So when we come back, it'll be the Buffaloes with the Cody Hawkins to the Buffaloes get it back. 28-25. Rams lead by 3, though. We talked about other quarterbacks at Colorado that have made their debut against Colorado State. / Cordell Stewart. The day he made his debut as a Buffalo quarterback, it was against the Rams. Produced better than 400 yards of total offense. 4 touchdown tosses. An unforgettable day for the former Pittsburgh Steeler quarterback who started his career, of course, at Colorado. From the 31, movement up front, and there's going to be a false start coming up against the Buffaloes. Let's check in now. Special guest with Emily Jones. Emily?
That's right, here with Cordell Stewart. And Cordell, we saw the highlights of your incredible performance in your first start in this rivalry. Bring back some good memories?
Oh, excellent memories. We didn't do all the good stuff until the second half. And so this is the second half, and we only have like 10 minutes and 40-some seconds to go. So, you know, we still have control. It's just a matter of us going down and get a drive and hopefully can have the same outcome.
You enjoyed a nice career in the NFL. What have you been up to lately?
Playing golf. That's it. The handicap's kind of low, and I'm just really enjoying myself and finally getting a chance to be on my own time and really get a chance to come back and be a part of this and just do some fun things in my life pretty much.
What do you think about the direction that this program is headed in, the job that Dan Hawkins is doing, and also, too, your evaluations of the freshman quarterback?
Well, there's some rebuilding stuff going on here, but just because of some things that happens with us being on probation and not having a good season last year, and Coach Hawkins, it being his first year, he's doing a great job of trying to keep the guys together, but yet at the same time, the freshman quarterback, he's doing pretty good. He's made some throws, considering that he's so short, that I didn't know for sure he could make because he was so short, and I never watched him practice. So, but he's looking great right now. He's looking excellent. It's just a matter of not making those mistakes because CSU is playing so strong. We just need to take care of this drive, hopefully get a touchdown, and hopefully I can seal the deal.
You miss it?
Not too much, not too much. I miss being here in Colorado because this was my, this is where it all pretty much was the middle stage of the time when I started having some success. So all the guys here in the booth right now, we're having a great time. The old guys from Canavis McGee and all the guys, they're all here having a great time, and that's what it's really all about, the old and the new. And I'm the new. I'm not the old. I'm the new. And just really having some fun.
All right, finally, I got to ask you, you said you've been playing a lot of golf. Where's your handicap?
I played to a 4. I played to a 4. I played at the Golf Club of Georgia back in Atlanta, and those guys really do a good job of getting me ready. So that's why I give all my love to the boys back at the Golf Club of Georgia.
4 handicap. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Cordell Stewart, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Guys, send it back up to you.
3rd and 5. Can they get the first down? No. Underneath it went, and short to McKnight. Needed to go a good 5-6 yards and threw it about 2 or 3. So a punting situation coming up.
Now, Cordell can't be happy about that. He expected his Buffaloes to take the ball down and march down there, perhaps put points on the board, but turned away by Colorado State. Do you believe the 4 handicap?
I don't think he can make money on it.
Good athlete, though. He's done a lot in his career, and obviously had a great career in the NFL. Talk about Canavis McGee. He was one of my teammates in New York with the Giants. He was drafted up there, a 2nd-round draft pick. One of the great Colorado products.
Johnny Walker waiting for the punt from DeLallo. And a good one. There's a flag. They ran into him. Look out. Buffaloes are going to get the ball back. What a mistake. What a time for a mistake.
Well, that's something that is huge when we go against your team. And I bet Sonny Lubick is going to look up number 17 and have some choice words for him in regards to what happened here. You see at the end of the play, runs right to him. You got a little contact, but you got to know where you are in the field. You just can't run into the punter. And
that's the young man who made the great open field tackle on coverage earlier, Jermaine Walters.
That's Coach Lubick going to have a little conversation with him, and you got to coach him up in these situations. And now it just gives Colorado another opportunity. They're going to give him a first down here after the penalties assessed, and going to put their offense back out there and give Cody Hawkins one more chance to move it down the field.
So the Buffaloes get it back 1st and 10 after going 3 and out with a punt. They get it at their own 44.
44.
So the defense stays on the field for Colorado State. Wedging his way up the middle is Sumler. It's about 5. Just across the 48, near the 49. He's had the most touches out of the backfield for the Buffaloes today.
I remember Hugh Charles early in the ball game in the 1st quarter, his first handoff, or excuse me, had a little flip pass to him. Strained a hamstring. Has not seen him make the field again today, and he's trying to stay loose on the sideline, but I don't think they're allowing him to go back in the ball game.
It's 14 carries, 81 yards for Demetrius Sumler after the last touch. It'll be 2nd and 5. Pocket protection. Now it collapses on him. Hawkins, and just out of the reach as Hawkins took a serious shot from Hrenek.
Hrenek does a great job of coming late there, just kind of a delayed blitz. Comes from the right, from the left side, the backside of the quarterback, and he can't account for him. He doesn't see him. Hrenek kind of stutters from the backside, then comes through that gap right there. And good shot, good timing on the play there. Not enough mustard on it to get out there, and probably disrupted his throw a little bit to get it to his receiver.
And almost a pick for Clint Kubiak as he was diving.
3rd down here, though, Joel, for Colorado. Huge play for this football team.
So Hrenek with the big hit. And they get another stop. 3rd and a little more than 5. From the 48. A stunt on the outside, and they say a forward pass. And I was looking to see the officials call because I didn't know if his arm was moving forward, but they say it is not a fumble in recovery, and a break for Colorado because Colorado State covered to the 46.
Well, Tommy Hill's on the outside here, and he just goes right around. The tackle blocks down, Palumbo blocks down, and nobody accounts for the left defensive end. This is a pass breakup. This is a mistake here by the offensive line. They're accounting for everybody inside. Quarterback can't account for somebody backside. He's got to be front side on that on account. He can throw the ball away. Lucky to get one away there.
I think they'll stay away from the punter. Short one. Good hang time, and Walker will call for the fair catch as he takes it in cleanly. Back at the Rams 15. Can the Rams just chew up some clock? In fact, run it out. 7:33 to play in a 3-point lead for Colorado State. Final 7:33. Colorado State, Colorado, a good close one as usual. And our college football Saturday quadruple header will continue right after our game. Number 17, UCLA, taking on Stanford. The debut for head coach Jim Harbaugh. We'll all start right after our matchup here in Denver. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, and Emily Jones. The state capitol from the 15. Bell banging his way out of the backfield. Boy, it looked like they had him back there, and now he's going to get a first down out of it, or at least close. He got 9 yards. Talk about an effort by Kyle Bell. Well, it's time now. Will we stay in the studio? Go to the studio? No, next time. And Kyle Bell.
He was almost was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They contacted him back there, missed the tackle on him, but Kyle Bell just pushes the pile. He's got some help there with his big guys, too. The big guys are pushing that pile, and Kyle Bell gets it up there 9 yards or so. And excellent effort.
Difference in the game, 3 points. Well, first possession of the second half. As you see the numbers for Kyle Bell in his first game back after a year off because of a torn ACL. A missed 41-yard field goal by Eberhardt. As Bell stretches, tries to get the first down. He's right on the marker. Okay, now we'll get a game break. Dr. Pepper time back to the studio, and Mike Goldberg. Mike.
Joel, I'll tell you what, the upset is still in the making. Number 5, Michigan, trailing Appalachian State 31-26, about 12 and a half remaining in the fourth, inside the 30-yard line, and Chad Henne throws the interception. Now we have under 8 minutes remaining. Michigan has never lost to a Division I 2A team, but they're losing to the two-time defending Division I 2A national champs.
All right, Mike. Well, obviously they went for 2 and didn't get that because it was 31-20 at one point. So Michigan in a potential stunner.
Shock in the big house.
Well, last year, Colorado, 1AA, Montana State, opening day.
There's a lot of 1AA programs that are actually very potent. I actually played 1AA college football, and across our number ones, we were as good as many college Division 1A teams, but the depth is what the problem is. And as long as Appalachian State can keep their number ones out there, they got a chance, and they're doing it today.
Yeah, as Mike mentioned, and we'll check in with Mike Goldberg, DeMarco Farr back in the studio throughout our quadruple header today. A little less than 8 minutes left before 100,000+ in Ann Arbor. Kyle Bell got about 3 on first down. Mosier takes over, the redshirt freshman from Miami in the backfield, and gets his first career carry. It doesn't go for much, but it's at least 2 yards. Not negative. Brown came in off the edge. Chappelle Brown, Southern California native, a sophomore.
Good job here coming off the edge. Rux, you see him on the outside. Just go down and get a good low, firm hit on Kyle Bell, knocking him off his feet. Brings up a 3rd down here, as you said, Joel. And key play here for Colorado State. Keep the momentum, keep the drive, and more importantly, keep the ball away from the Buffaloes with 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes left to go in the ball game.
Timeout situation. Both teams have all 3 of their timeouts left. It'll be 3rd and a little more than 6, almost 7. Haney's got to hurry. Play clock comes down on him. Barely got it off in time. And he did, they say. Oh, timeout was called from the bench.
Yeah, the coach on the sideline called the timeout, and
he did get it off in time.
Their first timeout of the half.
We need tenths of a second now on the play clock. Maybe next year. We'll come right back to Mile High, 28-25. The Rams by 3. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week on FSN. Brought to you by Dr. Pepper, your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it. Also by Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good. And the first down marker brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% on brand name products. Live better with Overstock.com. It's all about the O. And right now it's all about the D for Colorado and the Buffaloes. Can they get the stop trailing by 3? Caleb Haney, and what a day it's been for him. 18 of 23, 220 yards, 3 touchdown tosses, all to the tight end. And let's see if he looks for his tight end now on 3rd and almost 7.
He's up at the top of the screen. It's Perry.
Instead of slant. Man, right on the marker is Luke Roberts. He got a good spot. I think he may have it. Left foot or right foot, as they say. He pulled it off in front of Bernie. They'll bring in the sticks.
I think that's a generous spot. This may be something that's looked at upstairs in the booth. Our first chance for a replay here, perhaps. All plays in college football these days are reviewed, so they may take a look at this one. Take a look at the spot here. Is he down, and when is he actually down? Where is the ball? Ooh. He's on the player's back. No, he's not down, so that is definitely a first down past that line. Good job, good call.
So he hit it to the 41. They place it at the 36, put it at the 37, and it is a first down. Key conversion. They're now 11 of 17 on their third down tries. How about those numbers, though?
Very impressive. Similar to what he had a year ago in his ball game.
Kyle Bell is the single in a 2 tight end formation. Think they want to run it, choose some clock? Bell pounds his way across the 40 and spins to the 42.
And Colorado's got to be thinking timeouts here pretty quick. They got to start thinking about the clock. It's not in their favor right now. Might go another down here before they use a timeout. But just going to get under 4 minutes here, and I know that Caleb Haney's going to run that play clock all the way down here, use every second that he can before he snaps the football.
Yeah, they've got 3 timeouts remaining, Colorado. Still a ton of time on the board. Colorado State just used their first. Pauga is the fullback. It'll be Bell, and good penetration. They'll get him from the backside, but the penetration initially was the reason he was slowed down. Dykes cleaned up from behind. And now it's another big third down.
They're choosing to let the clock run here, not using a timeout, so they're going to put the timeouts in the hands of the quarterback when they get back on offense, perhaps. If Colorado's able to stop Colorado State here on third down, I'd really be surprised if they don't call a timeout if the Colorado State continues to run the football.
Well, this goes back to what we were talking about at the very top of the telecast. They were 7th worst in the nation, Colorado, getting off the field, giving up 48% of the opposition on third down conversions. And today it's 11 of 17 so far. Third and a long 6. Bell breaks the tackle, can't get out of the second. Guys on had him in the backfield. Smart finally cleaned up.
The clock continues to run here. Dan Hawkins not using the timeout. I'm surprised here. I'd be using a timeout right now. Save these 25 seconds on the clock. The ball's going to be punted, and you're probably going to get the ball.
A long field.
You know, a long way down back there. Maybe it's your 10-yard line or so, and I don't think this is a very efficient use of your timeouts.
Well, it's a good point. And they did use a timeout effectively, and in fact 2 over the final 2 minutes of the first half to get a field goal. Chase McBride came up with an 18-yard return to set up that field goal to the end of the first half. He waits for the punt from Jimmy Gaylor. No pressure. Returnable type. Low one. McBride past the 35. Look out to the 40. Gets the block he needs. The punter gets a piece of him. Save the touchdown. McBride comes through with the pressure on. It's all the way to the 34 of Colorado State. So Jimmy Gaylor, the last guy who had a shot, had an angle.
Almost looked like that they were trying to do a directional punt here to the left, but the coverage team went to the right. Nobody on this side of the field. He gets past 2 guys, and then there's nobody there. Nobody ever to slow him down or stop him, and good job by the quarterback, by the punter, getting him out of bounds. Look over here. All the white jerseys are going to the other side of the field. And a lot of teams do directional punting, and they want their punter to punt it one way or the other, and maybe punter punted the wrong way, and he had to make the saving tackle.
Byron Ellis is the single. Throwing on first down. Hawkins looking for Williams, and it's short. He was available, working on that side against Joey Rux.
And kind of a 3/4 arm delivery that time by Cody Hawkins, not throwing the ball over the top, slinging it out there and just falling short 4 or 5 yards in front of his receiver.
Now can they get enough yardage for a field goal try if they can't get the touchdown to take the lead? 2 of 3 to play.
Here's where you wish you had who? Mason Crosby, number 3.
Yeah. Kevin Everhart, the senior from Broomfield, Colorado, 1 for 2 in his debut as the starter. Sumner comes back and joins him in the backfield. Sumner, a little counter action, squeezes it inside the 30 down to the 28. So they might be thinking about, let's get at least 3 out of this puppy. Minute 15 counting, all 3 timeouts on the board for the Buffaloes.
I like the play call there. Don't panic. Just go ahead and run your offense. Get something manageable here for third down. And really, Joel, this is an opportunity now where they're inside a field goal range. Hopefully for that young man, I don't know his range, but you would think that inside the 30-yard line should be range for him to perhaps attempt a field goal.
He had a 38-yarder. He missed from 41. Right now, it'd be a 45-yard attempt if they don't get another yard out of this. Ellis behind Hawkins. on the long one to McKnight off his fingertips. That's a tough throw to the wide side of the field up against Darrell Williams.
And you ask the quarterback to go against his mechanics and actually turn all the way around to the left side of the field. And not a very natural stepping throwing area for the quarterback. This is hard to do. Step sideways and throw the ball out there. It's not a bad throw. He just got a little bit out in front of his receiver. Pretty good coverage that time by Colorado State. So a decision to make here for Dan Hawkins.
They're going to stop the clock. It'll be a timeout for the Buffaloes. See what they do. Minute 16 to play. They're looking at a 4th and 4. Easy one for me. Bring on the place kicker. We'll come back after this word. With a minute 16 left in regulation. It would be a 45, 46-yard field goal attempt if they go in that direction. But they have not brought the place kicker out, and they're not going to. They're going to go for it on 4th and 4.
Well, maybe this is a statement of what confidence Dan Hawkins has, or lack of confidence in his place kicker. Maybe he does not have the leg. Like I said, I don't know the range of the young man, his kicking ability. So they're running Cody Hawkins out there with the offense, and 3 wide receivers on this formation. Look at a couple of running backs in the ball game.
Cantrell and Sumler are going to be split behind Cody Hawkins.
They just need about 4.5 yards here for the first down.
Surprise. A real surprise. They're not going to try to tie it up.
Especially when you're used to having a long field goal kicking opportunity with Mason Crosby here. This goes against the norm of Colorado football over the last several years.
Hawkins comes up to the line and checking off. He's changing the play.
And he sees press coverage there.
4th and 4. I think they're going for it. They're just trying to get him to jump and get a free 5, and they are. It'll be Eberhard coming onto the field now. Not a bad idea.
Well, Dan Hawkins was walked right down by the line judge, and he was going to call the timeout. Just looking for the play clock to run down and try to get something going there. So we'll take a look at Eberhard here and see if he can tie this ball game up with about a 45, 46-yard field goal.
Yeah, he tried to sell it on the sideline like he was really upset that they weren't letting him attempt it. They didn't bite on the opposite side of the field. So they weren't jumping. There was no contact, encroachment. Will we get a tie ball game? A little more than a minute to play. And what a spot for this young man. He's only 2 kicks prior to today. 2003 when he was battling Mason Crosby for the starting job. Mason Crosby had it ever since. He's 1 of 2. He missed a 41-yarder on the first possession of the second half. He just blocked it. He had plenty of distance, but he blocked it out. And a 38-yarder was perfect with the second left in the first half. You know, Crosby won it a couple of times against Colorado State. This was back in 2005.
And there's a winning kick by Mason Crosby at the end of the ball game to give the Buffaloes a win. And
they're not going with the place kicker. After all, out of the gun, Cody Hawkins. Ellis and Cantrell in the backfield. And will they get the 4 yards they need? It's a floater for Williams and pass interference. They'll get another try. Joey Rux on the coverage.
Well, he was forced out of bounds, caught the ball out of bounds, but the field judge in the back of the end zone called pass interference on the play there. So
pass interference, number 29 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Joey Rux on the outside, walks on the right side of your screen here. The ball is thrown up there. The contact, you see the hand there on him, hold it on the jersey. That's in the field of play before the ball gets there. And he does catch the ball, but it's out of bounds. Nonetheless, Colorado's going to get a fresh set of downs here to work with. Plenty of time still to go here. 1:11 left to go in this ball game, and a chance to put a touchdown on the board to win this game or even get closer for a field goal attempt. Cody Hawkins obviously excited about that.
So they'll spot it at the 14, inside the 14, down to the 13.
Gutsy call though by Dan Hawkins on that series of downs. The 4th down, most people would think conventionally, especially here in Mile High, you could kick a 45-yard field, at least tie the ball game, give yourself a chance to win the game. But going for it on 4th down and 5, and
what a gamble!
It was a gamble, and it paid off.
Double up with Matt Williams. Summer's back in there. So now, fresh set of downs, plenty of time. And still a timeout on the board. Hawkins wide side. Williams. And he's buried at the 11. Even if they can't get the first down or get into the end zone, at least they're a lot shorter on the field goal attempt to tie it up. Darrell Williams with a sure-handed tackle to the open space.
Now just managing the clock here. They got a couple substitutions coming in on the field and Trying to get fresh people out there and give Colorado State a little something to think about. Cody Hawkins in firm control out there, calling a play at the line of scrimmage.
Does Sumler get a touch? Spread the defense, 2 to each side. You run them up the middle of the field. No. It's McKnight, complete inside the 5, short of the first and goal.
Well, if it's a first down, they'd stop the clock here, but the clock is continuing to run. He's going to spike the ball to stop the clock and save his timeout.
You can't spike it. It's 3rd and less than a yard. He'll use his timeout. So they use their final timeout. And here's the dilemma as they stop the clock with 22 seconds to play. Now, really, can you run the football? Because if you're stopped, you may not get an opportunity for the field goal try. So I don't think they have a choice. They got to throw the ball. They're already in a chip shot range. It's a little more than an extra point for the field goal to tie things up. That timeout they used when they tried to get him to jump offside, costly now.
Well, it proved costly now because they don't have that back for him, and so no timeouts left for Colorado. And if they run the football here and get the first down, the clock will stop. You know, that's the college football rule.
But if they don't get the first down, they don't get the field goal unit on in time.
What do we got?
There's only 22 seconds.
22 seconds.
By the time they unpile and get everybody onto the field, that's tough.
That's exactly right. I don't think they'd have enough time to get people out there.
And you may want to go for the field goal right now. You got one shot at the end zone, though. I'd put it up. I would try for the touchdown on this 3rd down play. The sack could kill you, too, though. There's a lot of variables. So here we go. Colorado State. Typical, isn't it? That good. In the Mile High City. 3rd and less than a yard. They're out of timeouts. Go to a tight end to the end zone. Jagoras in front of Sumler on the play fake. Hawkins back of the end zone, deflected and almost intercepted. He underthrew his tight end who was available, and Podorf almost picked it.
Tight end was definitely open. Tyson DeVray about midway in the end zone, and Cody Hawkins a little bit underthrows this football. He blocks down. You see DeVray is going to come around, and Cody Hawkins needs to throw it up. Give it a little air to it. Doesn't do it. Good job of reacting inside. Who got the hand on that ball?
That was Podorf.
Podorf, the linebacker, comes from inside out. Wow, huge play there.
So for the tie, Eberhardt. The 22-yard attempt out of the hold of McKnight, and he's got it just inside the upright.
Well, we know these games have been close. It looks like we might get a little more football to play here today.
That wasn't so automatic, that low line drive.
No, it sure wasn't.
That one irony hit.
Well, I knew it was good when I saw all the gold shirts on this end zone raise their all hands in unison. They could all see it from their perspective. We're kind of at a disadvantage here. So Dan Hawkins, the gambler, on 4th down, and got his penalty that he needed to keep that drive alive. And they took it down, put points on the board to tie this football game. And it's been a great ball game by both these teams. I think both of them got to be very pleased with how well their offenses in particular have executed.
And the specials were key for Colorado on 2 returns. Chase McBride set him up with an 18-yarder at the end of the half with a 38-yard field goal. And they don't have a prayer on a long field potentially if McBride doesn't set him up with a short field. They started with the ball at the 34 this time. 7 plays on the drive that stalled inside the 10. Now back deep. Any magic left in this one? I can't believe the 2 deep men would even touch the ball. Morton and Hill. Morton over to the near side, Hill over to the far side with 13 seconds left. Boy, a lot of people have left the ballpark, haven't they? Pope keeps it on the ground. Up man. Stops it going down to a knee. A smart play.
And that really is, because now Colorado State, they've got about, 11 seconds on the clock. That's an opportunity to run a couple of plays here. And they can get something down about 20, 25 yards down the sideline, get a first down, stop the clock, and perhaps attempt a long field goal.
And Zach Bryson, we saw him make an alert play on an earlier squib kick. So Colorado State 2 timeouts on the board. So if they want to use the middle of the field, they can, because they can stop it immediately and call the timeout. They're going to stop it anyway if they get the first down, but then they can keep it stopped and kick the field goal attempt for the win.
Yeah, what kind of leg does Jason Smith have, the kicker for Colorado State? We don't know, and does he get the opportunity here as Caleb Haney takes the field with his Colorado State team?
4-man rush. Haney in trouble. And over the middle of the field, it's incomplete. That'll stop it. It was right at the first down marker. Dizon blanketing Bell.
And the ball thrown over the middle here, and good hit there to dislodge that football. Would have been a first down if he'd have held on to it, and would have stopped the clock, and they could have got up there to run one more play. But
they needed 20-25 yards on the reception.
Yeah, Jason Smith, long field goal of his career is 49 yards, so not within his range at all. So I would expect the Colorado State, if they're going to try something here to throw it down the field or just protect the play here, they're going to go to overtime. That's what they're managing and looking to do here. Just kind of snap the ball and end this thing and get a couple of fresh sets, get another fresh set of downs, and college overtime rules will take effect.
All right, the toss. The toss is key in overtime. This is great. Colorado State, Colorado. It's a treat anytime we get to do it, regardless of where we do it, because it's not automatic. A couple of years ago, it was in Boulder. In fact, in 2004 and 2005, when their place kicker won it for them, it was in Boulder. But it's a lot of fun in Denver today. We go to overtime on the opening Saturday of the season on FSN. What a way to start off a quadruple header. Coin toss occurring at midfield as we get ready for overtime.
And the rule specific here for overtime.
Chooses to play defense. Colorado State chose to go with the north end of the field.
Colorado winning the toss, choosing to play defense here, and that's the typical what teams do when they win that toss in overtime. But technically, overtime rules here. Each team's going to get the football, and both at the 25-yard line with a chance to put points on the board, and they're going to can still get first downs in this area as well. They need to score whatever way they can, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, and keep things going.
Well, at the end of regulation, Caleb Haney, 19 of 25 for 227 yards and 3 touchdowns to his tight end, Corey Sperry. Cody Hawkins in his debut, 17 of 30. He's been picked off once. He's got a couple of touchdown tosses for 197 yards. So both have been on target. And Colorado State has outgained them overall on 78 snaps, 370 to 323 in total offense.
Yeah, kind of a first game of the season. Which team has the most gas in the tank left here at the end of the ball game? The press it into overtime. Which one's getting better condition? That might tell the difference here in this overtime period.
It's a warm, muggy day on first down. Kyle Bell. He goes outside of the hip of the block over to the right side. He's got an incredible lane. Dizon makes the play.
Dizon coming off of a blocker, reaches up and grabs a hold of Kyle Bell and just rides him down to the ground. And Dizon's been all around the field today. And he's not a big linebacker either. Watch number 44 come up, get off the fullback block, and watch him reach, grab the ankle. Just kind of hang on. It was a good block there by the fullback, but it was a good job of getting around that fullback to make the play.
2nd and 8, gain of 2 down to the 23. First possession of overtime. Bell on the counter action. He's got blocks. He's got a big hole. Inside the 15 to the 10. First and goal at the 9. What, did he have some lead out in front?
Yes, he did. That counter action worked well inside, and they picked off the MAC linebacker, the middle linebacker. He can't make the play, and everybody inside there, and Kyle Bell brings it right up to shoot. Secondary has to make the tackle. I think Walter's got him again.
Gain of 14 for Kyle Bell. So first and goal at the 9. Oga, the blocking back in front of Bell. 3 tight end formation. Nowhere for Bell to go. Lost a yard. Good push up front. Dizon got there. First one on target.
Dizon's only 220 pounds. He's 6 foot. He's not a huge linebacker, but he's a playmaker. He'll go in the hole and stick you.
Valid point you brought up. Elevation's not going to bother either team. They're both used to it. But it's a hot, muggy day. So who's maintained that edge energy-wise?
Yeah, who has the most energy left at the end of the ball game, and critical times here.
2nd and goal at the 11. Johnson takes over as the blocking back for Bell. They stay in the real jumbo formation, don't they? Now looking to Johnson. Low throw and dies on his back. Boy, Jordan has shown up on film all over the place this afternoon. And now in crunch time, gain of 3 down to the 8.
I tell you, Jordan, this Dizon does a nice job here. Goes out in the flat, takes the receiver, makes a good tackle, comes up on him. He has the tight end in the end zone. Chooses not to throw there. Corey Sperry, who's had a huge day. Caleb Haney made a quick decision to get it outside. And I would think he'd want to get it to that big tight end down in this area of the field.
So down to 3rd and goal for Haney. Looking over to the sideline, getting the call. Sperry, if you're looking for him, on the edge of the right tackle. He's on the hip of the right tackle.
There's Sperry at the top of the screen there.
Trips. Wide side for Haney to choose from. Haney with pressure coming. Back of the end zone. Intercepted. Picked off. What a time for a pick by Wheatley.
Wow. Caleb Haney does a nice job of buying some time, but in the end, trying to throw it to his big tight end, Corey Sperry. Ball a little bit underthrown, but a great break underneath to get that football by Wheatley. One of the best cornerbacks in the Big 12 Conference, one of the best in the country, a Thorpe Award candidate. Comes up and makes a huge play here in overtime. You see the tight end who's here, Caleb Haney, running around in the pocket. He's trying to go to the tight end. Watch Wheatley come underneath that throw, just undercuts it, and excellent job of going to the football and making a play in overtime.
And Johnny Walker next to him was wide open as well, but it was just a soft toss. So from the 25, you think someone will touch it here? All they need is a field goal to win it. It'll be a successful debut for Cody Hawkins. Sumler looks for space, and he's got the end on his back. And that's pulling him down, Tommy Hill.
And one thing you're going to see with these running backs here, and I'm sure each of these coaches told them this when they went on the field, we're going to hand you the football, but you put 2 hands on top of it at all times. There's no chance for this ball to pop out. Ball security is key right here. Good job by someone that time. He put it in there, and he had 2 hands on top of that football. And Dan Hawkins wants to control the football, move it down. Hey, a first down is great. It's not a necessity. They could win this ball game with a field goal try.
From the 23, 2nd down. Ellis joining Hawkins with the backfield. They spread the defense with 2 to each side, but will they put it up? Yes. It's complete. Open field tackle on McKnight as he's pulled down outside by Joey Rux. They're just short of the first down now by a little more than 3, almost 4.
Well, that's confidence in your young redshirt freshman quarterback to make the right decision in a critical time in a football game. And those throws are not hard to make, not easy to make, Joel. You go to the outside where guys have a chance to undercut those throws. If your ball slips out of your hand, there's a lot of things that can go into that. I'm a little more conservative. I'd be handing the ball off, trying to move it down the field, get that first down with the running game, and be fairly conservative. Kick a field goal, get out of here with a nice win.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind I'd run it here, because you've got a 36, 37-yard attempt, but they set up at a pass look. Ellis stays in the backfield to his right. Hawkins out of the gun. Needs 4 for the first down. Delay for Ellis. Bouncing around, and he won't get the first down, but he still gets an extra yard. So it's going to be about a 35, 36-yard attempt coming up for the win from the inexperienced Kevin Eberhard. He might be a senior, but limited playing time.
Well, he's seen somebody do that time and time again, and his previous teammate, Mason Crosby, now he's out there with a chance to win a game in the biggest in-state rivalry game.
What about a timeout?
Sonny Lubick maybe using that timeout on the sideline.
Now for the win on opening day. The snap is back on its way. Eberhard got it. It's over. Colorado wins in overtime. Whataburger, what a play, and what a play it is.
Caleb Haney throws it to the back of the end zone. Picked off by Wheatley, which sets up the overtime field goal win kick by Kevin Eberhard for Colorado.
So the senior from Broomfield, Colorado, Kevin Eberhard. Somewhere Mason Crosby is appreciating what his former teammate just pulled off. against their arch rivals, the Rams of Colorado State. As good as we expected it. Gary enjoyed it.
That was a fun game. It was a great game to see.
So our final in overtime, 31-28, the Buffaloes win. For Emily Jones, Gary Reasons, I'm Joel Myers. Thanks for joining us. Coming up next, college football Saturday quadruple header continues. Number 17, UCLA taking on Stanford. Then it's 8th-ranked Oklahoma taking on North Texas. And USC matches up with Idaho. It's all on FSN. Thanks for joining us. See you again next Saturday right here on FSN.